Yes, 1, 2, 1 to 2. Test the mic. I'm home. 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check. Let me check my mic here. See whether the microphone is in good shape. Okay, let me check my mic here. Mic check is perfect. Got a great mic check over there. Seems to be in good shape. All right, guys. Welcome to Voice Asano with ESOTERIC. Yeah. Let me get some entertainment for us. And I will be right back. Have some share. All right, guys, as you get on, please share the link for me. I would really appreciate that.
Oh, Yankee.
New Wave Empire.
That's Buddha, Vista, baby, Vista. Buddha, I said Buddha, Vista, baby, Vista. My lucky fresca, I wanna let you back with. No, not there, she not check. Eat you not 10. When she twerk it, I want it whether I can check it. Wanna pay my pocket, I will even spend my copy. Try to check it. Buddha, Vista, baby, Vista. Buddha, I said Buddha, Vista, baby, Vista. I go dancing, I got better. Joya saying, I got better. Garrett dying, I got better. They bring it up, I got better. Buddha, Vista, baby, Vista. Buddha, I said Buddha, Vista, baby, Vista. Talking, me I like the way you moving that your body. Damn it, my guy, I can't wait to hold it. I want to see it in my crib. What kind of thing is good so? Feeling that down in my soul. I start to go, I can let go. La le cara situation I can handle. Fluku, love you guy. Love you guy, I'm on the low. Fluku, love you guy. Why you doing to the bad? Buddha, Vista, baby, Vista. Buddha, I said Buddha, Vista, baby, Vista. Why you carry 10 or 10? Oh, you rocking my little part still. I ain't a problem to feed myself. My people in your mouth on me there. I will spend money. Dance for your back now, baby. Put away your back now, baby. I can show them what you got. That's your little. I will spend money. My lucky fresca. I wanna let you back with. No, not there, she not jet. Eat you not 10. Let ya. Buddha, Vista, baby, Vista. Buddha, I said Buddha, Vista, baby, Vista. Boy, Yankee, start jumping. I see ya.
I go by the name Superstar DJ Beats. You went grandma to the work.
Yeah, guys, no, go back. No. Let's see. Welcome to Voice Asano here with ESOTERIC. Appreciate your presence. Please share the link for us. We're having a wonderful show tonight coming your way. So let's do some sharing. I'll be right back.
Sit. Hi. Oh yeah.
ya kisare kunda nao. Hablere amwagenuo. Ya genuo. Jawa inarire ya genuo. Oye to ya sage ya genule. Sigere amwagenuo. Sigere amwagenuo. Sigere amwagenuo. Sigere amwagenuo. Martina we. Jawa inari amwekao. Sagideli amwekao. Arito bagdo de yanyo. Sigere amwagenuo. Teguanyao amwagenuo. Amwabimuneyao. Deli we bambosao. Aje adeli bambosao. Ayidawa o bambosao. Bagiri deli bambosao. Deli we bambosao. Bambosao deli we bambosao. Amwabimuneyao bambosao. Amwabimuneyao. Toma o jialutio. Jige kisare kondiamuo. Bobode nyao amwabimuo. Amwabire kiegerio. Blinded dino. Where is it whatever dino? Kafenya never dino. Kirikido kale kamoye luo. Neino yuki ayeluo. Adedelao. Sigere amwagenuo. Sigere amwagenuo. Sigere amwagenuo. Sigere amwagenuo.
All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Voice of Sinoe in the Diaspora with Doc Sarpo, the Exoteric. Coming to you live from Prosper Park, Pennsylvania, these United States of America. Good evening to all of you. Good morning. Wherever you find yourself around the globe, we are happy again to be here with you to discuss Sinoe County and Liberia at large. And so as you get on, please share the link for me if you don't mind. It shouldn't be difficult. Just hit that share button and you will be good to go. I mean, apart from just sharing the show in groups, I also beseech you to share it on your page. You know, you can share it in groups and then forget your own page. And so please do that. You can also follow us on YouTube. Yeah, on YouTube it's Madison Freeman. Yes, Madison Freeman on YouTube, and we are also live as well on YouTube right now. All right, so those of you that are following, again, I appreciate all of you. President Quincy Rule, welcome aboard. Nathaniel Garty Jr., Gerjugoa Otelo Kolo, Mr. Maya Mandibu, welcome aboard. All right, so if I don't call your name, it means that you are not seeing from my end. All right, Mr. Mandibu, thanks for joining us. Great. Okay, let's get into the show here. So Maya say I'm watching. Want to say thank you. Mr. Panto say I'm also watching. Thank you as well. All right, let's get into this here. All right, so what I want to do first is to just make a quick show you the quick video with respect to the hall. The North Dakotans, they are working hard for the national convention. So the guys, they have secured the venue for the August convention. You want to join me to be my co-host, my first lady? All right, so I want to do a quick video. It's a quick video just to give you, so you can see the hall. I mean, it's a massive hall. Gorgeous as well, beautiful hall that the guys they got, so I just want to show you that quick video, and from there we'll go into our things that we want to talk about tonight. But the video is important. I should have shown it to you a long time ago, but I forgot, multiple times when I get on here. All right, let me just share the video with you quickly. In the hall for the national convention is coming out in Fargo, North Dakota.
So they have space up there. What I was thinking about. But we have a bad news. Like people will be using the place from noon to 3. So the play will be available, but it will be available at 3 o'clock. So that's the only thing we're fixing right now. So this is the place. I'm up here. And we have a kitchen. Now the bar over there. We want the bar open. So let me.
You talking to me? Yes, I'm playing a video.
The kitchen. If you want to use the fridge to keep the food cold, this is the kitchen. The people stuff here right now, so you do not know how big it is. But this is the kitchen. So, the only thing here right now, the play will not be available on that Saturday until 3 o'clock. So I don't know how we're going to do it, but this is the place. No competition. Every day now have to be perfect. So guys, that's the place right here. This is the area, but the play won't be available until 3. The place is big. So yeah, okay.
All right, so that's the hall there. That's the hall for the upcoming convention. August convention is a big hall, and the voice back there, I think the only caveat she concern is that the hall wouldn't be open until 3 p.m. I think that's what she said. It wouldn't be available to us. But other than that, they are working on other modalities and other things that they are trying to do. But it's a massive hall for the National Convention. So if you want to secure your ticket, it is up to you. I mean, everything on the hall has been secure, and you're good to go for the National Convention. I know you get your what you call it, your ticket. You'll be good. So somebody said the place is not bad, not at all. It's a big hall, and a lot of people will be coming from all over the place for the convention. All right, so it is a very beautiful hall, indeed, indeed it is. All right, so let me get to other things that I want to talk about. Hey, Mazina, welcome aboard. Hotel Cola again, welcome aboard. And who else just joined us? Mayor West, welcome aboard. All right, now let's get to business here. I can be annoying sometimes with certain information. So let's just give you the update again. Delaware Valley, we'll do it rapidly. Delaware Valley chapter, this is the chairman of the Electoral Commission. April the 9th will be the chapter election here. Mr. Mason Toba is on the ballot. We don't know who is going against him right now. Yeah, but they put the guidelines, everything up now, the fees and everything. As you can see, everything on the flyer there for you. We read this before to you, and so we don't want to be repetitive. But anytime you can just come and extract the information from this. Also, we told you our sister Geraldine Verdier, her mother, I don't keep saying mother, I'm a sister. Her mother passed away, and the funeral will be coming up pretty soon. And so we just want to keep you abreast of the upcoming homegoing celebration of the mother of Geraldine Verdier. All right, so everything is listed on the screen there for you. And you can come to the video to extract the information should you want to be part of the program. All right, so that's the little information, repeated info that I want to give you over there. But this one, I just also want to let the members know. So the elder Tarpeh Zarzar, Christopher Zarzar, and Rachel K. They are members of our chapter here. All right, so yeah, I'm getting a little distraction here, a lot of feedback. I mean, I'll put the flyer there so the information should be visible to everyone. I say pretty soon, I'm speaking relatively. All right, so yeah, the information is right. I display the information on the screen, the flyer. All right, so Elder Christopher Zarzar and Reverend Rachel K. Passewe, they are bereaved, and they are members of our chapter here, Delaware Valley chapter. Christopher Zarzar, our grandmother, passed away. The old lady literally raised the guy, and I mean, I know the mother was here, the elder, she was here not too long ago. She went back home, and unfortunately, she passed away. So we can reach out to Brother Christopher Zarzar to sympathize with him. If you don't know the elder Christopher Zarzar is here. He's a son of Honorable Matthew Zarzar. So the family is bereaved. So you can reach out to the family to share word of sympathy with them. Yes, the grandmother that passed away of Christopher Zarzar and the rest of the family. That's the mother over there. Yeah, so just reach out to the family to sympathize with them. This is the Reverend Rachel here. Also, we are told she lost her son. You know, that's why we are told right in Philadelphia here, and she lives here right in the city with us as well. So let us reach out to Sis Rachel to commensurate with her in these difficult times. Yeah, but in the meantime, on behalf of the Office of the National President, the Chairman of the Board of Directors, we want to say that our sympathy to the bereaved family and the bereaved members of our union, specifically the Delaware Valley chapter who are affected. We want to say have our sympathy. This is it. It's difficult. Death is it's an unknown country, so we don't know what happens over there. So because of the unknown of the unknown, and so people they grieve over the passing of the family member, what would be the fate of the person and all of that. And so, but we want to say our condolences to the bereaved family, and may the soul of the faithful departed rest in peace. All right, that's something we want to start the show with here for tonight. Let's see. I want to give you a quick announcement as well with respect to somebody that will be hosting on the show, a guest that will be having pretty soon. So I call this upcoming guest. He was my old schoolmate as well in Ghana. His name is Edwin Expo Jr. He's an author. He wrote a book called The Mission. And so this Sunday, I'll be hosting Edwin Paul to talk about his book. So I will invite my followers to come and join us. It shouldn't be about, those sensational topics before we start to come out. Let's come out to support our brother. He's doing positive things out here. There are lots of our brothers and sisters when they get here, they engage into a lot of negative stuff. But this brother, Edwin Paul, he wrote a book, and so let's come. Will be this Sunday. Will be at 5 p.m. According to our arrangement so far. Yeah, yes, the Combre right here. Yeah, we were all on the refugee camp in Ghana, and we came here. And so this is the book for the brother here. It's called The Mission. I like to read, so I like to read different stuff. The book, a book is the mind of somebody. So that's why somebody, what the person is thinking, they put it into a book. So we're going to be entering the mind of Combre Edwin Paul this Sunday to talk about his book, The Mission. I don't know what sort of mission is it. What mission is he taking on? Is that a military mission? Is that a romantic mission? Is that what you call a traditional mission? So we want to know the nature of the mission when the brother gets here this Sunday. We'll go into it. But just something that is coming out on Voice of Sino this Sunday after 5 p.m. All right, that's something that we want to bring up to your attention. All right, what is coming up? Now let's go to something else on the platform that we have for you. Like I said, normally I regret the breaking news. It brings its own energy, but again, I don't want to play that. When I hear that, then sometimes because the sound is not for us, so as a consequence, they tend to cut off our show. So we don't want to go through all of that. So let's give you the first breaking news here on Voice of Sino tonight. All right, so the first breaking news we want to share with you. Just cut it up, please. Thank you. All right, so the first breaking news here, Nathaniel Garty Sinoe has been confirmed as Sinoe advisor to President Francess. Reverend Nathaniel Garty Sinoe has been confirmed to be the Sinoe advisor, presidential advisor. All right. So not a couple of days ago, the president has been quite successful with the confirmation of our nominees. The board of directors, they have been working with the president. So recently, the president forwarded some names to the board of directors in fulfillment of the Constitution, even though the presidential advisor is not constitutional. But yet, in every country, in every organization, you need those wise brains, to advise the president how to proceed. And so against that background, the president of our union, Her Excellency President Francess nominated the Reverend Nathaniel Garty Sr. to be the presidential advisor. So if you don't know the Reverend, let me give his image. Here is Reverend Nathaniel Garty Sr., the advisor to President Francess. He's a wise man, very knowledgeable, quite experienced man. He knows a lot. And also, if you listen to him, I'll give a very good night. Yeah. Let me give her more kiss, guys, as she live in the house. All right, so the Reverend, it was confirmed by the board without reservation to the contrary. And so right now he is the advisor to the president. Good mind to be on the side of the president. I will call this brother quickly. I'm recalling on the show. All right, so Reverend Garty, he has a vast experience. He's when I was in Ghana, that's how I know him from all the way Ghana. He had a church in Ghana, I think Assembly of God. Yeah, he was pastor in that church. Currently he's in Minnesota. He worked before in Liberia. He has an extensive security background. So he went to the University of Liberia, University of Liberia graduate. He came to the U.S. He got another degree here. I don't know for sure, but he graduated again with another degree. So Reverend Garty is a wonderful man to be on the team. So we want to say congratulations to Reverend Garty for accepting the president invite to advise her. Thank you so much for taking on that responsibility. I want to say again, congratulations on behalf of the union. We welcome you with open arms. All right. Also, on another confirmation of breaking news, the board of directors as well, they confirmed another nominee of the president. Mr. Jerry Massaquoi was confirmed as the chairman of Grievance committee. All right, so this is constitutional, and so it was in. It's a constitutional requirement that wasn't fulfilled in the past, and so the president is literally navigating the Constitution to make sure that we stayed in the confines of the Constitution. And so Jerry Massaquoi, right here. Great brother, decent gentleman. He is the husband of Winnie Massaquoi. Jerry has been quite instrumental in the unification of the union when the conflict was at its peak. Jerry Massaquoi was part of the committee, the team they call the concerned members of the USAA. They negotiated to make sure that we achieve peace in the union, but unfortunately, their effort did not yield the expected result. But Jerry has been a positive force in the union, and so given when it comes to financial contribution, he's all on top of everything, meeting deals, and he goes to conventions and stuff of that nature. If you look at our Constitution, it says that members, if once you are not of the Sarpo ethnicity, but you're married to our daughter or son, automatically you become eligible to be part of the organization. All right, so now the Jerry was also confirmed by the board of directors to be the chairman of the Grievance committee. All right, now. We want to also say congratulations on behalf of the office of the president and the board of directors and all members who want to say, Jerry Massaquoi, welcome aboard. You are already on board anyway. But we wish you well on your new role in the union. Now, if you do not know the functions of the grievance committee, we just want to look at it so that you can know when you say grievance, what are we talking about? All right, so when you have complaints and something that you want to bring to the knowledge, something maybe it has the potential to create problems, anything that you are not satisfied with, Jerry Massaquoi is the guy to read. So it's the portion of the Constitution just to give you the functions of the job of Jerry Massaquoi. All right, so if you look at the Constitution of the USAA, let me just give you some of the, so it's the article, the article here of the Constitution. Yeah, so Article 1516 of the Constitution, and that is, we'll go on Section 1.8, and that's what we're going to read it from. Hopefully it's legible on your end there to read. And so it says here, the job functions, responsibility, like we already told you, the Reverend Nathaniel Garty will be advising the president how to proceed. All right, so Jerry, on the other hand, would be doing the number one, Article 1, Article 16 of the Constitution, Section 1, 8.1. It says here, Jerry will be doing, it shall have his committee now, it shall have the right to receive and investigate all claims. All claims, let's say receive, sorry guys, shall have the right to receive and investigate all complaints, actually, all complaints written from members of the association, make recommendations, okay, make recommendations to the national president and all chairman of the National Board of Directors. All right, that's one. Number two, Mr. Massaquoi committing, it shall try to bring face to face. It shall try to bring face to face the accused and the accusers for questioning into the complaints filed. Okay. Number three, the job function of the grievance committee. It shall give equal opportunity to all members of the disputing parties to make their case for proper understanding of the matter. Four, it shall be impartial in its job so as to find the truth of the matter, so as to make the appropriate recommendations to the appropriate authorities in the association. Number five, it shall report to the national president. However, in a case where the president is accused or is the accuser, the committee shall report to the chairman of the board of directors. All right, so these are the functions of Jerry Massaquoi, the chairman of the grievance committee. All right, so that's something we just want to share with you on the platform tonight. So we want to say again, congratulations to our brother. He's up to the task. If you talk to Jerry Massaquoi, you know that the brother has his shoulder, hair on his shoulder, okay? And so is the Reverend, the wise man. He is one of my mentors as well. You know, I confide in him a whole lot. You know, so these are good addition to the team, okay? All right, let's go to the next person. Next thing I want to talk about tonight on Voice of Sinoe. Please don't hesitate to share the show for us. We highly appreciate that. All right, let's see. Let me get this out to things that I already dealt with. All right, so we also want to do a shout out to recognize it's a breaking news as well. The vice president or co-chair of SADO, right? SADO is the Sarpo Appoliable Development Organization in Liberia. The vice chairman, Monjue Paye, just graduated from the University of Liberia with a second master's degree. All right. So Monjue Paye, wonderful lady, the woman appetite for the acquisition of knowledge is amazing. Her second master's degree from the University of Liberia. So we say Monjue Paye, a vice president of SADO, begged second master's degree from UL. All right. And so it's a wonderful thing. These are things that we like to celebrate, you know, to see our sons and daughters, obtaining higher education. That's what we need. Because in order to be relevant in a country, in a society, you need education, especially in this day and age. And so we are very, very happy for this huge accomplishment of the Vice President of SADO, Liberia. Let me show you some pictures here. This is the lady here. So we say congratulations again. Wonderful. I don't know for sure. I was trying to reach out to her to know exactly what she got the second master's aim. But no reply. But I saw the post on her page, she posted. And so when I see something like that, I can't pass by it. So the Sinoe County is another great thing, especially our ladies. They are often at the lower end of the academic brackets, so we like to see this, second master's degree, so the lady is not a small potato, she measuring arms with the men, I think there's another lady over there graduated as well. I don't know her name, but I think it's one of our colleagues, but we want to say it again, congratulations to Monjue Paye solo on this huge accomplishment and stuff like that. This brings to mind those that can be preaching sectionalism a whole lot. This is one of the reasons why the people say, "Oh, everything is the Sincon," because the Sincon people, their appetite for knowledge is insatiable. So if you have somebody with two masters, and you have the other person from the other section, obviously the person with the master's degree will have a leverage. So we shouldn't begrudge. We shouldn't envy each other, for doing certain things, especially positive things. Let's support each other. So if the other section have educated people, it's the same thing I can be talking here in the US, right? The Caucasians, if you look at the positions here, they are predominant because they have more educated people. In any society where you have more educated people, those people, they will have the authority, the power will be in a possession. And those that are at the lower end, they should not envy those that are educated. All you have to do, it should be a motivation to you to want to be at that level as well. And so, but in the African context, people tend to envy, the other one from the other section, and the other section is dominating. It's not because they're dominating. It's not because it's because of the knowledge. They have more educated people, so because of that, they have more connections. So even if you have the education, and that's why if you go to college, they talk about networking your last semester. It's very important. Who is very, very important. So I don't want us to be envying each other. The other section is this, and the other section is not this, and all of that. Those things they are not convincing. They are not. You can do better than that. Everything is Sincon people. Everything is the other one that Kabade people. The other. Those things they are just so. They don't meet the standard of the age of contemporary, the contemporary word, if you want to put it that way. So I just want us to leave that old school thinking and envying each other for being successful, and let's support each other. All right. If Manzina built a mansion, for example, let's celebrate her. Like I saw our own sister, Sis Carlos, she built a wonderful building. Let's celebrate with her. Those are things that we have to do instead of fighting each other. No, we should stop that. It's not helping us. The people tried before, the likes of Charles Taylor, they brought war. Instead of doing it to the ballot box, they brought guns. We pull each other apart. Kill each other. And some people are still sick. They got a mental problem because of the war. Some people are amputated. So let us change the paradigm now. Let's do academic competition and see how it plays out instead of envying each other. So we want to say congratulations. So Sis Monjue Soto, the Vice President of SADO, great achievement, second master's degree. Thank you. Let's go to the next thing here that I want to talk about on Voice of SADO. Let me see some of the comments that are trending so far. Is it constitutional for the president to have an advisor according to USA Constitution? If so, what part? I mean, I just said it is not part of the Constitution, but the president wanted to get some second thoughts. I can remember there are a lot of positions. The prior president, he has certain position, press secretary, and those things. They are not part of the Constitution, but he had all those things. So it's just a way of getting people involved. It's not about constitutional and stuff. And that's why she didn't do it unilaterally. She sent it to the board of directors in keeping with the Constitution and say, oh, everything that the president does, especially when it comes to people in certain capacity, it has to get a consent of the board of directors. And so that's exactly what the president did. Well, thanks for the question, Evangelist James Carlo. Thank you. My sympathy to you, the Zarzar family. Thank you, Kolo. Congratulations, Mr. Garty. Congratulations, Uncle. Congratulations, Reverend Garty. And we are glad to have you on board. And again, bravo to you. Our deepest condolences to the entire Zarzar's family. That's Mr. Monjue. Let me look at some of your comments before I go to Madam Verdia. We are very, very sorry for your loss. Richard, you are in our prayers. All right, so Mr. Monjue is coming here. Sympathy to Madam Richard K. It is a very beautiful hall. The play is not bad. Okay, so some of the comments here that I'm saying. Let's see. Congratulations to Mr. Massaquoi, and we are glad to have you on the team. All right, thank you, Mr. Maya Monjue over there, coming in with those comments. All right, let's go to the next thing here of Voice of Sinoe tonight. It's another breaking news from Sinoe County. All right, so right now, Sinoe County, the health. The health workers in the Southeast, including Sinoe, on strike. Okay? Healthcare workers in the Southeast, including Sinoe, are currently on strike. Yeah, when I saw that, I was sad. I was sad because the people that the government is supposed to pay full attention to, because the doctors, the nurses, the X-ray technician, the different people that work in those various hospitals and clinics in Liberia or anywhere around the world, those people are lifesavers. They save lives. And so I don't understand how anybody would play with such important population in a country. So Sinoe County, as we speak right now, the doctors, the medical professionals, they are currently on strike in Liberia. The whole Southeast. So let me show you some of the communications, right? From that, the Voice of Sinoe, we don't talk about something without showing you the evidence, right? And so we have to show you the evidence of what is going on currently. Well, before I do that, let me show you some pictures. People are protesting. They're on strike right now. You're seeing that's Greenville. We deserve better living condition too. Okay, that's what the plaga over there said. We deserve better too. All right. Clinicians' lives matter. See some of the protesters right here. You see, I think it looks like the GF Green Hospital in Greenville over there. It looks like it. I haven't been over there for a long time. So right now the people are on strike in Sinoe County. But what are they on strike for? Okay, we're going to tell you. We're going to tell you for sure. But you're going to hear it from the people themselves before Dr. Ayopode say anything further. Okay? Let me go to the communications. We got some from Grand Crew and some from Sinoe County. All right, let's look at the first one here, Sinoe. All right, that's the communication there from Sinoe. It will be small on your side, so I'm going to read it to you. I will use my other device to read it and hear what the healthcare workers are saying in Sinoe County with respect to what is causing them to go on strike. So it says here, Concerned Clinicians Association, Sinoe County Health Team, okay, Sinoe County, Republic of Liberia. This is very current. It's today, March the 22nd, 2022, as you can see it right now. They say, my eyes are so, Deputy Minister for Administration, Ministry of Health, Republic of Liberia, dear Madam, okay, and healthcare workers, dear Madam, please accept our warmest greetings. As clinicians, we deeply, this is not too clear here from my side. We deeply, I can see the word, sorry guys, it's bad. Sad maybe to appreciate the efforts made so far in seeking our welfare in terms of incentives. It goes on to say, but our concerns have been drawn into the following burning issues as professional health workers. It says here, number one, salary disparity. All right, salary disparity. That's one reason. Salary disparity. When you say disparity, it's not fair. All right, certain people are getting more money and certain people are not getting. They are getting less. So they're talking about salary disparity. Number two, underpayment. They are being underpaid. Somebody is saving lives, and some minister somewhere, deputy minister or whatever, they are not doing anything. They are getting a lot of money. But the person that is saving lives, the person is being underpaid. You know, that's the tragedy of Liberia. Number three, rumors that all health workers are on government of Liberia payroll. All right. Number four, requests for our employment letters and payroll numbers. Number five, salary deduction. Okay. They are deducting, the people are getting little or nothing, but they are deducting their salaries. Okay. So the communication wanted to say, so they listed 5 things why they are on strike. And so they want to say now, what baffles us is that how can we be on the payroll with such a discouraging salary? Okay, they are not being paid fairly, right? Such a discouraging salary. If we are on the government of Liberia payroll, where are our payroll numbers? Okay, no numbers. Employment letters. And why didn't we do our biometric as others did? Other people did, but they did not take. They never did their biometric or their fingerprints. They went on to say, with the above said, we have unanimously agreed as a professional body to engage all responsible persons to address these burning issues promptly. And this is intended for us to understand our standpoints as healthcare workers. As affected clinicians, this is our 3rd time. It's not the first time. This is our 3rd time engaging the Sinoe County health team. Therefore, we have no alternative. Listen to what they are saying. We have no alternative to stay home until our problems can be addressed by the Ministry of Health. It's sad, right? Sinoe County. I'll read that sentence one more time. That is quite disturbing. It says here, as affected clinicians, this is our third time engaging the Sinoe County Health Team. Therefore, we have no alternative. For the third time, they went there first, second. They did not listen to these people concerns. Lifesavers, the people that are saving the lives of our people. The health ministry is not paying attention to these people. As affected clinicians, this is our third time engaging the Sinoe County healthcare team. Therefore, we have no alternative but to stay home until our problems can be addressed by the Ministry of Health. Thanks in advance, as we hope to hear from you very soon. And it was signed, this communication was signed. Let me put that up there so you can see it again. It was signed by Sylvester J. Broth, General Secretary. Got all information that concern Clinicians Association, Sinoe County Health Team. It was approved by Z. Elijah Wulu, Speaker, concerned Clinicians Association, Sinoe County Health Team. And then it was attested by B. Wilfred Tarpeh, Chairman, all right, concerned Clinicians, Sinoe County Health Team. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, there you have it right there. Right now, our sick people in Sinoe County, people that are not well, you are there to die, basically. Because the people say they are going to stay home, all right? They say we have no alternative but to stay home until our problems can be addressed by the Ministry of Health. That's what it said. So they are staying home. And so basically, the people are forced to abandon the sick people in the hospital or hospitals and clinics across Sinoe County. It's sad. It is sad. Some of us, we don't want to criticize the government, but this is not right. The resources of the country you have to prioritize. Look at the various areas. What is important? How can anybody put healthcare, the people, the president himself, or the government officials, the lawmakers, those ministers, when they are sick, they don't go to the mechanic. They do not go to an accountant. They don't go to an economist. No, they go to the doctor. They go to the nurse. They go to the phlebotomist, somebody to draw your blood, to know what is going on in your body. So how can anybody in their right mind underpay these people or reduce their salary? The people are working, they are now on payroll, their salary disparity, and all of that. Sinoe County. My county is, the people are dying. Basically, the leaders of the country, they are saying, since, in other words, since they are not taking care of the doctors, the medical team, they are saying, the sick people, you are on your own. We do not have time for you. That's what it means. How can you not, for the third time, the people engage you first. They engage you for the second time. Now, the third time, they say, you know what? We too have our families to take care of. Our children want to go to school as well. They want to be lawmakers. They want to be presidents. They want to be engineers. And it's based on our salaries that we can take care of them. But we are getting little or nothing, but you're still reducing our salaries, our pay. And so the people are furious. They are staying home, according to their communication. Now, this is now limited to the South. It says the Southeast. Let me share the other communication with you from Grand Crew County. I'm quite sure that's where the president is from, right? Grand Crew County. Let's look at Grand Crew. Southeastern Health Workers Network, right? Republic of Liberia. You can see over there. That one is legible. You can read it. Let me read this one. It's sad. Liberia is in a terrible shape with what's going on. Healthcare workers are leaving work. All right, so here, Southeastern Health Workers Network, Republic of Liberia, they got the email and all the information over there. Dr. Woyi S. Red, County Health Officer, Grand Crew County, Republic of Liberia. Today is March the 22nd. This is current. What's going on today? All right. So, dear and Dr. Red, reference, letter of concern. Okay. The medical team also in Grand Crew. We write with great reluctance and heavy hearts as health workers in the southeast of Liberia, continue to diligently perform our assigned duties. They said diligently. They work arduously. They work on a daily basis. They do what they can to keep people alive. But listen, alive. We write with great reluctance and heavy hearts as health workers in the southeast of Liberia, continue to diligently perform our assigned duties with additional assignments given us due to the shortage of workforce in various facilities. Right? They're going on to say the people are overworking you. They got a job, but they are doing additional work because of the shortage of healthcare workers or workforce in various facilities. We have always tried to work as team or as team players, keeping in mind the keeping in mind the ultimate success and growth of our health team. We take pride in working for our country. We take pride in working for our country. They said they're taking pride. They say we got to do it. We are nationalists. We are patriots. Let's work. We take pride in working for our country. However, we would like to bring to your attention that with the current cost of living in the southeast of Liberia, most of the time, we are falling short of money in keeping up with such high costs, okay? The cost of living going up, but the people are getting paid less. They are getting underpaid, all right? So they went on to say, we are therefore constrained to draw your attention on the following, but not limited to: 1, health workers in extremely hard to reach counties, southeast, salaries be increased. All right, they want the salary to be increased. The people are working in the extremely hard to reach, the remote parts, or if you like, remotest parts of Sinoe or the southeast. Those people are working. So they are asking for salary increment, which I think is fair enough. It's fair to ask for increment. All right. Number 2, the disparity in salaries should be addressed based on qualification. Okay. They got to be addressed. Other people can be in Monrovia and get a high salary, and the other people in the rural area, even though they are also qualified, some of them, they are more qualified, and they are getting underpaid. So they say the issue has to be addressed. This disparity in salaries should be addressed based on qualification. Number 3, unnecessary deduction. The SADO team said the same thing, right? The group in River said they are saying this, in Grand Crew, they are saying the same thing. They say unnecessary. The people can unnecessarily reduce the healthcare workers their salaries, okay? Unnecessary deduction in the name of insurance. Okay, this one, they say in the name of insurance company should be abolished. So they say, maybe they say they're getting some insurance company, they're giving the insurance, but they use that to reduce the people meager salary. It's sad. How can you exploit the people in this manner? Unnecessary reduction in the name of insurance company should be abolished. Okay, number 4, permanent employment for health workers receiving so-called incentives or direct replacement for all volunteer health workers. Okay, so they say they want permanent employment. All right, so instead of giving an incentive, they want to be employed permanently. All right, so they went on to say, with the above mentioned, we are recommending your response. In English a little dodgy here. We are recommending your response within 15 days to address our concerns, or you get prepared to observe a stay-home action from the 5 southeastern counties of Liberia, namely Grand Crew. I'll put that communication there so you can see it. The 5 counties in the southeast. So they say, with the above mentioned, we are recommending your response within 15 days. They gave them 15 days, right? 15 days to address our concerns. Or you get prepared to observe a stay-home action from the 5 southeastern counties of Liberia, namely Grand Crew, Maryland, Grand Gideon, River G, and Sinoe County, respectively. Okay, so right now, Sinoe County, they already said they are staying home already. So they say, thanks, best regards. And this was signed by John S. Newville. He's the General Secretary of Grand Crew County chapter. Then it was approved by Jack Abednego Toll, Chairman, Grand Crew County chapter. Okay, so this is what's going on in your country currently. The people give 15 days for their concerns to be addressed, whereas the people of Sinoe County, the health team already, they say, you know what, we are staying home. We can't be working, and our concerns are not being addressed. You know, and so this is the situation for our people. It's very sad. And that is why the United Support Association in Americas, we have been emphasizing on getting more medical professionals over there to take care of our people. You know, we can also get some sort of incentive system and to incentivize it, to get something. We can defray, we can help the people with something. At the end of the month, it's an organization, we're NGO. We should be able to help in that regard. But the first thing we have to, right now, the people, the inside of the medical team, they left. They said we have no alternative because we tried 3 times, and the people are not listening to us, and so we're going to sit home. And so I imagine, I just trying to picture how it looks right now. The patients in the hospital, they are by themselves. Imagine that. Think about it. People are sick right now. Some people are going to the hospital and no doctors, no nurses, nobody. Imagine what is going on right now in Sinoe or in the southeast. On account, in the 15 days, the rest of the counties will join. Imagine what will happen. Imagine. I mean, somebody will say, oh, but these people, they took the Hippocratic oath from the physician called Hippocrates, the father of medicine. They took the Hippocratic oath, and it says that your first obligation is to take care of your patients. Well, I mean, it's one thing to say that, but it's another thing for the people to, because if they are not getting compensated, their concerns are not being addressed, guess what? They get family to take care of. They have to take care of themselves. And nobody's paying attention to them. So how do you continue to help and help? Imagine those lawmakers, those ministers, even President Weah himself, he is working and not getting paid. What do you think will motivate him to go to work, to steer the affairs of the state? So when those other employees of the government cannot go without getting paid. Why is it okay for the health professionals, very, very important people, more than the lawmakers, and somebody will say, oh, we'll reduce their salaries. We'll underpay them. There will be salary disparity, even though they are qualified. And this is the situation and the conundrum of the nation called Liberia. We do not prioritize what is important. We don't. We don't know what, I don't know why we don't know what is important. The people you are leading as a president, they are being abandoned by the decisions because their concerns are not being addressed. You know, as a leader, how do you go to sleep with that? And those leaders in the country, when their family sick, they can send them to those advanced hospitals out of the country. They can afford. But imagine right now the family members or a parent or parents whose child is now sick and now the child is in the hospital, or the father who is now sick and the family now they got their hands on their head. How that person will get healed? Because no medical professionals, the people are home. And that's why we, the diaspora organizations, we have to do something just in case we have a situation like this. We will have backup medical team to substitute in the meantime. While those on government payroll are being ill-treated, they are pushing their just grievances. We have substitute medical professionals. So imagine, for example, in Zarzar right now, the only medical facility will have it already empty, right? And the people right now, they are on strike. So what will happen to the people in Zarzar? What will happen to the surrounding towns, the people that are coming to Zarzar for medical care? The various clinics in Basin Town and various places in Sinoe County. Imagine that. It's a death trap right now. It's sad for our country. And this is the failure of leadership. You know, and that is why they say, I think one thinker said, when politics stumbles, the people suffer. Because politics is a way to lead the people. So when the politics of your community, of your nation, when the politics stumbles, the people suffer. And so the people are suffering right now in Liberia. In my county, SADO County, the people are abandoned. My brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers. They are now in the hospital, nobody to cater to them because of bad governance. What is wrong with the oldest so-called oldest republic in Africa? What is wrong with us? Why can't we take things that are important serious and we'll go to frivolity? Things that are not important. People are now in Sinoe County. It's sad for my county. It's sad for my county. So then when I go to bed, I don't know when I'm going to sleep. I'm not quite sure. How can somebody be abandoned? A sick person. A sick person needs help. Or sick people need help. And right now in Sinoe County, well, the people are on their own. We are going back to the state of nature. Everybody for themselves. Yes. Everybody for themselves right now in Sinoe County. At least the other counties, the people, they just gave 15 days ultimatum for their concerns to be addressed. But in Sinoe County, the people say they have no alternative but to stay home. They said that clearly in their communication. So right now, J.L. Green Hospital, the largest referral hospital in Sinoe right now. The people that are on oxygen, they are on their own. The people that need blood work, they are on their own right now. Maybe the family just taking them home. Because it makes no sense to be in the hospital when the medical practitioners are not there to cater to the people, to take care of the patients. Failure of leadership. From the executive to the judiciary to the legislature, is a failure of leadership when this is going on. And these are some of the things that can lead to anarchy, that can lead to some of the people to go into criminalities. How is it that somebody went to school for years to be a doctor, and then somebody working somewhere in some, director job, and they're making more than a doctor or more than a nurse? Liberia has serious problem. And we as a people, we got to wake up and stop singing praises. I call on the lawmakers of my county to do something about this. I call on Honorable Zarzar. I call on Honorable Donkey. I call on Senator Paye. I call on the corrupt Senator Milton TJ. I call on Honorable Samson Weah to do something about this. These are the people you guys are leading, and they cannot be abandoned in the hospital. These people voted for you, and now they are on their own because they are not being catered to according to their communication. How can somebody, I don't know how much they're making, but you are reducing their salaries? In any case, these people's salary got to be increased. They got to get more paid than the lawmakers. The other ministers are doing nothing, and they get it for nothing pay. How can 103 men, who got few females anyway, the House, the capital, the legislature, when you look at the budget, 103 citizens, they get 54 million of the budget. But the healthcare workers, they are crying. When you look at the president alone, 20 million, one man. Why you need 20 million when the people are suffering? You alone. Look at the Ministry of State and Presidential Affairs, $20 million. The people are suffering. The guys are building mansions all over the place. And people are in the hospital, they are grasping for air just to breathe. No oxygen tank. Oh, Liberia, I cry out for my country every day. I cry out for my country every day to get the real, genuine, patriotic leaders that will look after the least of these, and not the aristocrats, and not the bourgeoisie, the guys that are making big, because they know plenty of book, they turn their back on the major component of the country. The healthcare professionals, they are on strike. The people are abandoning, they left their brothers. They are forced to abandon their brothers and sisters because they too, they got to eat. They got to survive. Imagine what is going on in my country in the 21st century too. And it doesn't bother the leaders. It's okay. When you look at the budget, they put in all sort of ridiculous stuff. They will put legislative engagement. What the hell you need another salary, another pay in addition to your pay? You can't put that money into the healthcare sector. Why? 2023, we need a radical revolution in Sinoe, in Liberia as a whole. Something is not right. something is fundamentally wrong. The entire country is sick. It's sick. Here in America, just do something 1 year or less than a year nursing program here. You get a lot. They pay you. They encourage people because it's important. Well, you like, bro, you will be doctor. Somebody working somewhere, director job, who is doing nothing. The person is getting more money. What is the director doing? Some of the jobs, they're overlapping anyway. They're doing the same thing. Some of them go there, they don't do nothing. What is the job expectation of some of the people? You go to some of the ministry, no job expectation, no benchmark set. The people are just going to work in the money. They just sit in the offices. Nobody orders there. No, they don't that. Nobody, you don't clock in, they go to work anytime. It's sad. People that were broke before, now they're in government, they're building houses all over the place. And the doctors, they can't afford to feed their children. The nurses cannot afford to feed their children. Wow. Liberia is seriously sick. Seriously sick. And so once more, I called on the lawmakers of Sinoe County to arrest the situation immediately. But tomorrow, we want to make sure that the hospitals, the people go back to work because their concern must be addressed. It's a must. The president of the Republic of Liberia got to intervene, though the guys at the health ministry, apparently they are doing their own thing. They got to take care of the people. How can people tell you 3 different times and you are not listening to them? 3 times. This is the 3rd time, so they say, you know what, we got to sit down. And those in the other counties, Grand Juliet County, Grand Crew, Maryland, they are saying, you know what, we'll give you 15 days ultimatum to address our concerns. Other than that, we'll join the people in Sinoe County to abandon our brothers and sisters as well, so they can die. And then we'll say we'll do funeral. The government can kind of throw the body away. How callous could you be? What kind of leaders are you? When politics fails, the people suffer. It's the failure of governance in the country. The misplacement of priorities. We are not prioritizing what we're supposed to prioritize in the country. The leaders. They are spending money into things and they're giving ridiculous incentive to people, gas money, gas slip. Why are you getting paid and you need gas slip again? What are you doing with your salary? Why are you getting paid? They got to put gas in your car. And then what are you doing with your salary? Liberia is a sick country. But we'll fight for the salvation of Liberia. And my thing is, and that's what I've been talking about, if each of us from the various counties we crusade, we put tension on our leaders, the 15 political subdivisions of the country will mount pressure on everybody, all the counties. So I don't do too much national politics or talking on these things. I deal with Sinoe because I want to get my house in order first. You know? And so that's what Sinoe County is right now. Our people, I don't know about tomorrow. We don't know what will happen. Let me see some of the comments are trending here. My heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families. Thank you. Green doesn't have a presidential advisor, okay? We are not going into order that one right now. I mean, I was part of the publicity man before I know what was going on. But we are not going to that right now. We don't give any of that credence. Question, Pastor. I remember that Green have an advisor. So why are you asking this question? All right, now, okay, they're going into that. On several occasions, you accuse President G of not following the Constitution. Here you are, along with the board. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about, not following the Constitution. I'm not going into all of that right now. I mean, I'm talking about my people in Sinoe County that are abandoned right now. All right, that's what we are talking about here. If you want to bring back that topic, I'm not going to waste my time on it. We'll deal with that sufficiently. So I think you guys are looking for attention right now. You need publicity for docs. How you put it? And I'm not going to spend my time on that right now. If you want to bring something right now, I'm talking about people that have been abandoned in Sinoe County. The sick people. That's what we're talking about right now. And about something we already dealt with. You know, sick people are been abandoned. That's what we're saying. And a man saying he's a man of God, now he's bringing Sarpo politics. You know, we dealt with that sufficiently. I don't want to go there right now and get angry. So the whole thing I'm talking about, the man just focusing on Sarpo politics. So Reverend, I mean, I thought Jesus said you look out for your brother and sister. But the man right now, what is important to him is because it's Sarpo politics. You say you're going on your own, so why are you battling about our organization constitution? Go write your constitution and you follow your own. You say you get your own organization. So why are you bringing attention to that? If you want to, if you're a member of the USA, then we'll have an argument. But right now, you are a defector. So D-Way, go to your side, you discuss your thing. When you're ready to come on board, then we can have a discussion. Let me see what the nurse have to say here. Those things happen because our people do not care to discuss the issues affecting their community, and those who want to lead do not understand the issue other than deceptive so-called development such as rice, mattresses, and zinc. All right, that's it. That's why some people, they go there to give people Chinese rice, you know, some people, they'll get nails, and you have to build the infrastructure, the major thing. You need the health care sector to be running. It's very important. If you are an independent country, you should be able to, 1, feed yourself, 2, educate your people, and 3, you have to provide health care for your people. That makes you an independent country. If you need, people got to feed you. You have to ask people to take care of your citizens. You are not independent, you are a dependent country. And so major things. We just needed the fundamental, the basic thing to go on. Feed ourselves, get healthcare going for ourselves, educate our people, get electricity, get roads going in the country. Boom, everything open up in the country. But no, when you ask the people about road or something, it costs $1 million to build 1 mile of road. But when you go there, they build mansions all over the place. Okay, how is it that you are building mansions all over the place, but you are complaining about 1 mile, $1 million to build 1 mile? In less than 1 year, the president built 47 houses, mansion for himself. But they don't have money to build roads. And the county from which the president is from, the southeast, the people on strike. Imagine the president of Liberia is from Grand Crew, and the communication regional is from Grand Crew. And the people saying, we also join the people from Sinoe County. Liberia is doomed. What happened in Sinoe again, Baku? Sinoe County, the people are on strike right now, my brother. They abandon all the hospitals. The healthcare workers, they left the hospitals because they are not being treated fairly. If you are joining me, let me read that communication again. I'm sorry right now for my county. And the communication there from the people. The healthcare workers, they are leaving. They left the hospital according to them because they are not being treated right. This is what they said. The registrar, I'm struggling with this one. Please accept our warmest greetings. As clinicians, we deeply, that way I can see it, to appreciate the efforts made so far in seeking our welfare in terms of incentives. But our concerns have been drawn to the following burning issues as professional health workers. 1, salary disparity, underpayment, rumors that all health workers are on government of Liberia payroll, requests for our employment letters and payroll numbers. Number 5, salary reduction. Now, what baffles us is that how can we be on the payroll with such a discouraging salary if we are on the government of Liberia payroll, where are our payroll numbers, employment letters, and why didn't we do our biometric as others did? With the above said, we have unanimously agreed as a professional body to engage all responsible persons to address these burning issues promptly. This is intended for us to understand our standpoints as healthcare workers. As affected clinicians, this is our third time engaging the Sinoe County health team. Therefore, we have no alternative but to stay home until our problems can be addressed by the Ministry of Health. Thanks in advance. I should hope to hear from you very soon. Boom, and it signed out. Sylvester J. Broth, General Secretary, approved Z. Elijah Wulu, Speaker, and then B. Wilfred Tarpeh, Chairman. This is what's going on in Sinoe County, my brother. We are finished. We are finished. And people are dying right now in Sinoe County. The medical team, they abandon the patients. And then Grand Crew, the whole southeast, the southeast, the whole southeast, all the counties, they come and join too. This is what they said. This is what they wrote too. If you are just joining, let me repeat the communication one more time. Very important. That Wowie S. Ray, County Health Officer, Grand Crew County, Republic of Liberia, March the 22nd, 2022. Dear Dr. Ray, reference, letter of concern. We write with great reluctance and heavy hearts as health workers in the southeast of Liberia continue to diligently perform our assigned duties, with additional assignments given us due to the shortage of health force or workforce in various facilities. We have always tried to work as a team players, keeping in mind the ultimate success and work of growth of our health team. We take pride in working for our country. However, we would like to bring to your attention that with the current cost of living in the southeast of Liberia, most of the time, we are falling short of money in keeping up with such high costs. We are therefore constrained to draw your attention on the following, but not limited to: health workers in extremely high to rich counties, southeast salaries to be increased. 2, the disparity in salaries should be addressed based on qualification. 3, unnecessary deduction in the name of insurance company should be abolished. 4, permanent employment for health workers receiving so-called incentives, direct replacement for all volunteer health workers. With the above mentioned, we are recommending your response within 15 days to address our concerns, or you get prepared to observe a stay-home action from the 5 southeastern counties of Liberia, namely Grand Crew, Maryland, Grand Jide, River G, and Sinoe County, respectively. All right, this is what's going on right now. So the Sanda, best regards. Thanks, best regards. It was signed by John S. Novell, General Secretary, Grand Crew County Chapter. Approved, Jack Abednego Tor, Chairman, Grand Crew County Chapter. All right, so this is what's going on right now in the southeast. It's a chaos about to happen in Grand Crew right now, or in Sinoe County. People are leaving. Sinoe County, they left already. People say we are staying home. We tried 3 times for the people to call the Ministry of Health attention, and they are not taking our important. They think we are not important, and hence we are going to stay home. It's sad for my county. It is sad for my county. It is sad for my country. It's sad, very, very sad. Stop circumventing my question. Okay, I already said we are not going to answer. I'm talking about human lives right now. I'm not talking about Sarpo politics. If you want to do Sarpo politics, you'll get a live talk show. You'll go there and talk the politics. We are not for that right now. All right. So now let me go to the next thing. So that's what's going on in Sinoe County right now. That's the communication. That's the breaking news from Sinoe County right now. Now I just want to switch gear a little bit here to something else. that I've been seeing. The talk show host Henry Costa, lately the people have been talking about him. You know, so a voice of Sinoe, I want to give my take. And so I said, talk about the corruption on Weah and now Henry Costa's private affairs. I mean, Liberian people, we are a strange set of people. Women or children are being raped in the country. Malaria killing children. Kwashiorkor, malnutrition killing children. The crime rate in the country is astronomically high. Corruption is running amok in the country. The roads are terrible. The environment is sick. I mean, there are a lot of things going on in the country for us to talk about. The education is deplorable. The healthcare, I just told you, the people are abandoning the patients. You know, healthcare is horrible in the country. The leaders, when they want better healthcare, they fly out of the country. Okay, they go to do the annual tests and those things. But it is not the same. The same is not true with the man who does not have government job. The old man who is selling lagbasi or debris more open, they can't afford to fly out of the country when they are sick or they are child sick. I mean, we'll have whole host of major things to talk about. And I've been seeing people on Facebook, they are talking about Henry Costa, I mean, private affairs, they're talking about a private power. Like, wow, it's how trivial we think as a people. We descend this low. We turn on our back on what is going on. The country is dark. People are sleeping in darkness in the day and age. They are drinking dirty water. But people talking about somebody's private affairs. Wow. And so the mental depletion of our people is just bad. It's terrible. It's scary. It's scary. We don't think about what is important in the country right now. We got auditor dying, nothing coming from out of A. Those things, those are things we got to be talking about. Why is it that people that can do audit, mysteriously they're passing away? When you walk in your own country, you're scared. They call the people Zoko. You walking, you hiding your phone so they can't catch. You holding your. The country is horrible. These are things we got to be talking about. When I visited Liberia the other time, these young kids that are supposed to be in classroom, they are all in the street. They are selling, buy your candy here, buy your cold water. That's the only way the people will survive. These are the things we got to be talking about. And so I'm going to be talking about Henry Costa, private affair, private part in the Western Town Facebook. Like, wow, we finished. This is a done deal for our country. The way the people doing things and the focus on frivolity. Okay, how is talking about Henry Costa private business, how is it going to help to change the economic condition of the country? When you talk about Henry Costa whole day on Facebook, okay, how does that put food on the table of those children, the mothers and fathers right now that are thinking how to get something for, or the sick people right now that don't have medication? Some people that say they were born, they have not seen the dentist. We don't talk about those things. We don't talk about the rape going on in the country. The government officials, they're having those little girls. When you go to the club, they're sitting down all on their lap. Nothing wrong with it. People are not talking about those things. But they're talking about nonsense about Henry Costa, me, a private car, we have sex with. What does that? Liberia is done. It's done. It is done. Some of our people, they are thinking what's on our follow them on Facebook. Like, wow. Is that what we are? We are just, we just come to the lowest ebb of the society. People are competing, they are building different things. We are not thinking about innovation, but we are talking about somebody private part. Who the person has sex with. I mean, so if you go and batch, again, when you batch Henry Costa whole day, you talk about a private part, you put a video all over the place. How does that change the condition of the people in the country that are suffering? And the government officials are building mansions for themselves. They're going on different vacations. Some of them will go, they'll go to France and climb on top of the Eiffel Tower, and then they carry their children to Louis Vuitton store and say, look, You go in other country, people country. You know what can you do something in your own country so that the people will come to and climb the Eiffel Tower in your own country? To go and take pictures in those beautiful places, America, other places, they post it and say that lawmakers. And then when they go by, when they're not doing something to bring reform to their own country, but they only advertise other people's country. When something happens in the country, they will defend corruption. When something wrong, see lately, the American ambassador was talking about just cleaning our city. The people on Facebook are defending that. How can you not defend clean your own place? But somebody talk about it, then you can't write an article. How come you share with you see the U.S. ambassador versus one Jacob Binda? He wrote and said he reporting to the mayor. What is wrong with our people? What is wrong with our people? So they're talking about Henry Costa private affair, and our people are suffering in the country. When you are in a rural part of Liberia, you finish. The LEC they're talking about it. Certain corner in Monrovia, that's it. When you get out of Monrovia, the whole country is dark. The people, what they are living as stone age human beings. Those things about our people. In the day and age, and somebody still drinking from the creek. They go to the creek to drink, to get water, to fetch water to drink. But the ministers and the presidents and they get minimal bottle of water. They can't drink no water. No, they're too good. Those are the things we're supposed to be doing. How long? All these guys have to focus on opening that country up, building roads, get electricity going, get water, running water. It's fun. Liberian people are they are hardworking. And people say, oh, the people are going to Monrovia, they live in it. Okay, if you're making a farm in the interior, how do you even bring your produce on the road when the people don't want to build the roads? And you say the people are lazy. They are not lazy. What I saw the other day when I went to Liberia, the people, they are resilient people. Liberian people, they are hardworking people. But they are going to the city because the government does not want to leave Monrovia. Everything is Monrovia. Everything is in Monrovia. Once you are not in Monrovia, you are locked up from the rest of the country. The over one made a cassava farm when I was a little boy in Sinoe. I mean, though they not build Costa road all over the place, but at least the road was they were pliable. You can carry the Mandingo people. Like you say on Sunday, we'll carry the coffee on the road. We would dry it over the week on Sunday. The people that put their coffee on the road, Mandingo people come and buy it. They're happy. Well, I'm used to do those things. But now the roads are so terrible. And you said somebody else, oh, the person should say in the village, okay, what you want me to do now? I should say in the village and die? While everything is just circulated in Monrovia? Decentralize the development in the country. The president been there almost one term gone already. One road hasn't been built in Sinoe, in Grand Crew. Everything just, the people are going home now. They don't want to take care of their own citizens. Now, how terrible then people, somebody on Facebook and talking about Henry Costa, this one, and private part. I'm like, wow. Hello? Yeah, Mr. Monjue.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the topic that you are on. I don't want to add my voice to this topic.
Go ahead.
One time on the same topic, we're talking, and then I said on the show that look, our people, they elect people because they like them. They don't see what the people would do. You know, when people buy beggar, right, you put them in office. When they get there, and they go do different things. And these are some of the things you are talking about that people are not doing. And what people don't see it. They don't see it. Because at the end of the day, it will come and bite you. You know, people will come to you and buy the vote. I will do this, I will do that. When they get there, you're not doing anything. All the money that's being allocated, development money, somebody will get to it, put it in their pocket, and nothing will come out of it. No precedent can ever be set. So these are the things that are going on. Look what you just said about the hospital, people going on strike. You already don't have people there to work. You already don't have medication to treat the people. People, what's going on? I can still remember when the CDC came to power, the second person in charge It's our time to talk. Look at that kind of thing. Our time to talk.
Yep. This is stuff like that.
Yes. What will you get at same time like that? I can still remember vividly. It's our time to talk. And that's what they are doing. They don't care for the little man. They're doing. Who will question them? The legislature, the judicial, the executive, all corrupt.
Yeah, the three branches are compromised. Yes.
Yes. I mean, everybody is judicial compromise. Who will listen to you as a poor man? And like you said, when they get sick, they go fly to Ghana, fly to all the places, and leave the poor man on the ground there, dying without any medication. So they got money in their pocket. And when you go to the poor country, you see their facilities, but you can't go buy home and what? And do the same thing for your people. But because you got the money,
they give all these ridiculous excuses. You know, the war damaged your country, but other countries around the world, they have experienced war too. And they have graduated, they are growing, I mean, exponentially. But when you talk about, bro, the war damaged the country and this one, you are not the only country that has been in war.
No. The war happened more than 20 years now. Are you still blaming the war? When the war happened, what the entire universe did, they came to the aid of Liberia. They freed all their debts. Then they gave them money. Right away, they want Binda for 12 years. What she did, nobody can see it. What she did, took the money and she or two, they pocketed the money, and they keep them going all as straight all in Maria. And when they go here, spend money here somewhere, and do all kinds of things. What we gotta show? We say we want indigenous people. We want indigenous leaders. We want indigenous leadership. Okay, you get it now. Show your juice.
The indigenous people are worse than the American Liberian. They were vilified.
That's what I'm saying, too. I was saying the same thing. She was there for 12 years. We are not getting for what? I'm going to another 6 years. That's 18 years. We still can't see anything. Electricity is zero. Drinking water zero. Like you mentioned earlier, they put that drinking from the creek. They put pregnant women in wheelbarrow to take them to town when they're pregnant. What is that? Put them pregnant on bicycle. Put them pregnant on motorbike.
Yep.
Can you imagine that?
That's what we'll do. Okay, Mr. Monjue, thanks for calling. Let me get to my last talking point. That's Liberia for us. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you, bro.
All right. So that's Liberia. You know, like Mr. Monjue said. Yeah, people get on motorbike. The poor citizens on motorbike to take them to the hospital. The government can't afford. They say, the government broke. But when you go to the president buying vehicles all over the place and dividing among the people, okay, where is he taking the money from? And the healthcare workers, they are not getting paid. But the president can get vehicle and put his name, pictures, and all on it. I mean, but no money in the country. I mean, where is he magically taking the money from? It's just sad. It's just sad. All right, so let's go to the next thing that I want to talk about. Is the last thing on my agenda tonight. All right, so this one I call U.S. Ambassador to Liberia, Michael A. McCarthy versus Jacob Binda. Okay, so recently I think some of you may have read the op-ed piece from the ambassador to Liberia, U.S. ambassador to Liberia. He wrote a piece on Judge's rival's birthday. Some reflection he did. You know, I wish I thought he was on point. But you know, there are people always, they will defend the old country since 1847 are still doing the same thing. I can't even clean your own city. And somebody can argue. All right, so now let's look at the ambassador communication. If you are not seeing it, it's a very, very good communication, at least to me. You know, I thought somebody would be quiet and just do what the man says. I don't want to rejoin her right now. Okay. So let's look at the ambassador. This is the U.S. ambassador piece that he wrote recently on the website of the embassy. Okay. U.S. embassy in Liberia. That's the website. The article is I'm reading it from not somewhere else. All right. So the op-ed What would J.J. Rivers have to say about Liberia today? All right, that's the title. It starts with a question, right? And that's the ambassador here, Michael McCarthy. All right, so this is why he wrote. Let me see what I can make that thing, zoom it up a little bit, make it bigger. All right, so this is why he said, the op-ed piece here, what would J.J. Rivers have to say about Liberia today? By U.S. Ambassador to Liberia, Michael A. McCarthy. This is why he wrote, okay? As we celebrate the life of a great Liberian born 213 years ago in the United States before immigrating to this land at 20 years old, I have been asking myself what Joseph Jenkins Rivers, who said about Liberia today. All right? He wanted to say, 60 years after the arrival of the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, in Liberia, 19 years after the end of the Civil War crisis, and 7 years after the eradication of Ebola, the taxpayers of the United States contribute to this country over 110 million, okay, 110 million per year. 110 million per year. Now, how much to contribute the people taxpayer, U.S. taxpayer, the U.S. ambassadors in there. Now, I mean, 60 years after the arrival of the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, in Liberia, 19 years after the end of the Civil War crisis, and 7 years after the eradication of Ebola, the taxpayers of the United States contribute to this country over 110 million per year of foreign assistance. He wanted to say this includes over 79 million per year donated to the health sector. Okay, so right now the health workers in Liberia, they are on strike because they are not getting paid. But the ambassador is saying every year they send 79 million per year donated to the health sector in Liberia. Okay, 79 million per year. Every year, I want to say 79 million to Liberia, to the health sector. And he said approximately 9 million is specifically for purchasing medications and commodities for the Liberian people and improving the Ministry of Health's effective distribution and warehousing of pharmaceuticals. He wanted to say, despite this extra support, we learn regularly about places like Colahon in Lofa County and Massaquoi in Nima County, where clinics and hospitals must make do without even the most basic drugs. Think about it. The people had to improvise because after sending, they say every year, 79 million. Out of that 79 million for the people to purchase, they said 9 million to specifically for purchasing medications and commodities for the Liberian people, improving the Ministry of Health's effective distribution and warehousing of pharmaceuticals. Despite this extra support, we learn regularly about places like Colahon, Lofa County, and Massaquoi in Nima County, where clinics and hospitals must make do without even the basic drugs. The people are struggling nothing after sending 9 million just to buy drugs, and people still can't get drugs. What is going on in Liberia? The stealing is just too much. The man went on to say, troublingly, embassy investigations indicate that not only are some citizens diverting public medical resources and low-cost drugs for personal gain, but that babies, young children, and breastfeeding mothers are dying needlessly as a result. Imagine. And that's what's going on right now in Sinoe County. That's why the people closing. The people are giving support. Just America alone was sending 79 million. What's about other countries that are also helping? But now the people saying babies are dying. The pregnant women are dying because the people are so reckless. They don't care for their own people. Needlessly, he said. The people are dying needlessly. Needlessly. That U.S. ambassador talking. As a result, the people are taking the drugs. They are diverting the drugs to their own purposes. Troubling the embassy investigation. They did investigation. He didn't say investigation. He said investigations. So it's a lot of investigation a day. Embassy investigation indicate that only that not only are some citizens diverting, they are diverting public medical resources and low-cost drugs for personal gain. The Liberia for you. The corruption in that country, somebody, they got to be putting the buckers in jail. They got to flog these people. That's all we got to do now. You killing your own citizens just so you can get rich. They go on, the ambassador, he came here and said, what would J.J. Rivers have to say about this? He went on to say, as a Peace Corps volunteer, I was blessed to live for 2 years in villages without electricity or running water in West Africa. All right? Before you got in the position you were doing Peace Corps work, right, in West Africa. He said, first thing every morning, when you are in the villages, first thing every morning, each household will take advantage of the cool early morning daylight to sweep inside and outside and dispose of debris, right? Villagers then coordinated with the local government to deliver waste daily to a designated landfill, okay? The state of cleanliness in the city of Monrovia, which is more developed and a far wealthier community, sadly does not compare. Imagine. So he said when you are doing Peace Corps work, you should be in the villages, all right, where the people, there was no electricity, no running water. Myself, I lived in the village before, and I know what the ambassador is talking about. I lived that life. And that's what some of up to now, at least we got that little team for our parents, our grandfathers and mothers that we live with. In the morning, the first thing you wake up, you have to clean up. When are the boys will go sweep outside. The girls will sweep in the house. Then we got places that we can put it to, we can just put it there anywhere. And that's why the ambassador. So the ambassador is saying Monrovia that has more resources, that is sophisticated, that got water running in some areas, that is wealthier. And I mean, the condition of Monrovia does not compare to those villages, those remote villages that don't have anything. So it's the insult to ourselves. We are insulting ourselves. Now the ambassador, he's just pointing out the obvious. Okay? To throw our own debt away, we need somebody to help us to do that. You don't know when you take trash, you got to, I mean, my little children here, when we're in the car, I'm walking out, so daddy, no littering. I mean, so in Monrovia, the people just dropping debt 24/7. When I was in Minnesota, but then in Minnesota, like if the grass grows to 7 level, if you don't call it, the city can give you a ticket. The grass, you don't call it, they give you a ticket. But in Liberia, this basic thing, you don't need foreigners to help you with these things. You can do it yourself. So the ambassador wanted to say, last month, I was surprised at the words of certain leadership. Okay, you didn't want to call Jefferson Kochi, right? You're just in a diplomatic manner. Last month, I was surprised at the words of certain leadership on Monrovia Day. Okay, a Sinoe official lamented that unlike his previous 3 years in office, no donor or external partner is funding the recurring costs of solid waste collection and disposal. Somebody got to help you again to send you money to throw your own trash away. You need somebody to help you with that. The city cannot afford. When you guys can be wearing Gucci and building horses all over the place, they can't afford to throw trash away. You need somebody, you got to call donors to help you with that. Wow. So the man said, last month, I was surprised at the words of city leadership on Monrovia Day. A senior official lamented that unlike his previous 3 years in office, no donor or external partner is funding the recurring costs of solid waste collection and disposal, implying that he was abandoned by the international community. Is there a more basic local government responsibility than the collection and proper disposal of garbage? Look at the ambassador basically insulted you. He said nothing is more fundamental than you when you make the trash, you so you can throw it away yourself. It's the best and the most easy. I mean, let me say most. The easiest thing you can do, okay, for yourself. You don't need somebody. Is there a more basic local government responsibility than the collection and proper disposal of garbage? You can't do any other work for yourself. And I mean, it's a, oh man, Liberia, who Liberia's first president have imagined that 175 years after independence, foreigners should be held responsible for the removal of garbage in his capital city? May I ask you a rhetorical question? On February 25th, we learned that a Rhode Island State Representative, Nathaniel Bear, Australian, is donating electronic voting equipment to the Liberian Senate. This is not the first of such equipment donated to help make Liberia's top legislative body more transparent to its citizens. Okay, they are sending this electronic voting machine to the Liberia, but the guys are not using it because what? They want to be corrupt. They don't want to see who is voting, who is doing that. They don't want to be recorded. And so the people send the machine, they don't want to use the machines. You know, Liberia. It's because of corruption. So they will hide themselves and they say, I'm putting my machine, I'm not using that machine. Because when that thing catches you, you don't. So they're not using the machine. So how you want the place to be, I mean, transparent? You don't want transparency. You don't want the country to grow. It should be at the same battleless pit, 24/7. People should be suffering, and few people enjoy the resources. The ambassador want to say, I have been reliably informed that a previous e-voting system was installed in 2014 by the U.S. taxpayer-funded National Democratic Institute, but it was never used. Okay? Now, Liberia for you, because they want corruption, so they can use the machines, so they can record them. For his part, President Weah said during his December 10 summit for democracy speech, and the ambassador gave all the link, everything. Over the next year, we intend to introduce legislative transparency. All right, you need the next year. Why not now? It has to be over the next year. Now you have to introduce it right now, Mr. President. It's not over the next year. You don't need to wait for another 12 months to start transparency. It should be immediate. That's why the president is saying also in the Kwame. So for his part, President Weah said during his December 10th summit for democracy speech, over the next year, we intend, he said, they're thinking about it right now. They're not actualizing it. It's intent. We intend to introduce legislative transparency by making all votes public so that constituents can hold their lawmakers accountable for their actions, which is a fundamental element of any healthy democracy. Okay, so they put all defensive words when they go to the international fora, they just say the words, and when it comes to practicalization, they don't do it. So they went on to say, this ambassador said, I hope the legislature embraces this latest opportunity to increase citizen awareness of the actions of the elected officials, who JJ rivals have believed that in modern Liberia, a constitutional republic where all power is inherent in its people, legislators who purposely neglect to use a tool created to educate citizens on how their democratically elected representatives vote, the Liberia. They don't want to, they want to keep the people in darkness. They don't want to inform the people. So they say, without using these machines. No way. In a US Congress, when they're voting, you can see everything live. The people giving you all the equipment, but because the people want to perpetuate the culture of corruption, so they say, we're not using these machines. Like, bro, we need a leader that will whip people. And I wonder, well, right now, that thing why Western democracy is not working in that country. We need a unique form of democracy in Liberia. You see, Rwanda created their own democracy. They formally we come and plagiarize the people's stuff. That's all we do. So they wanted to say the United States of America has no doubt also failed to live up to some of the aspirations of our first president. But I believe George Washington will be pleased to know that the country he fought to establish will today be working to support democracy and fight corruption both at home and in places like Liberia. Yes, Washington would have done it, will fight corruption. And now in Liberia, in America here, I'm not saying no corruption here, but when you are caught, you are finished. You are finished. All right? Those guys have the ethics committee. Against reference, for example, a lawmaker from New York, Anthony Weiner. A little girl, not a little girl, you get some picture to that man. Half naked picture. She not show the bottom part, only the top part. Because of that thing, the guys, their own men, his own colleagues, they pressure that man, he resigned. Yeah, in Liberia, people will be declared guilty for corruption, and they are still in the House, they are still in the Senate. And we expect the country to change. How can you have reform in the country when those that are making laws, they are the criminals? Some of them, they are declared guilty. The people burning them for not leaving their country. They're stuck. And we expect Liberia to change with this happening. My own county, the senator was declared guilty, and you still making law, and the people are praising him. We start, that voice of SADO here. So I start from my own county. Milton TJ declared guilty for corruption. And they're worshiping him. And they expect the country to grow. And so this is something that is, the ambassador said, I'll reach to that before I go more into that. So the U.S. House of Representatives introduced Resolution 907 on February 4th of this year, which encourages Liberia to redouble its efforts to counter corruption and advance the causes of human rights. It also urges Liberia to implement critical economic reforms necessary to accelerate sustainable economic growth and human capacity or human capital development. That thing, all that jargon, all that thing I mean talking and men don't get time for that thing. Finally, it calls on the U.S. Treasury and State Departments to continue to impose targeted sanctions against those responsible for undermining the rule of law and trust of the Liberian people through corruption, gross violations of human rights, and other acts that threaten the peace and security of Liberia. Okay, so if you look here, there's something important the ambassador said. They passed the resolution, right? The U.S. House of Representatives introduced Resolution 907 on February 4th of this year, which encourages Liberia to redouble its efforts to counter corruption and advance the causes of human rights. It also urges Liberia to implement critical economic reforms necessary to accelerate sustainable economic growth and human capital development. Okay, the resolution also says that finally it calls on the U.S. Treasury and State Departments to continue to impose targeted sanctions. So they put sanctions on few lawmakers already or government officials in Liberia. And so they say they should continue because the people don't want to stop the corruption in that country. So they should continue to put sanctions on these people. And I'm calling on the Treasury Department to put sanctions on the senator of my county, Milton TJ. He's one of the guys, he corrupt. You are declared guilty for corruption. And you're still making laws. You're still a lawmaker. So I think the U.S. got to go a step further. Instead of just putting sanctions on these people, because when you put sanctions on them, they stay in the country and still looting. And so all you are telling them, don't leave the country. You go after the people, you take them from there the way you take charge of them from there. So the Liberian people can be free. But in as much you have these criminals in power, they are suppressing the people and say, oh, all you can do, you can travel to our country. The men don't care. They do not care. They are still stealing from the people. So U.S. got to go a step further to go after the people, chase them. Let them take them out of the country. We need another George Bush to issue an ultimatum and say, Taylor, leave the country now. Now, what will some of the lawmakers? They got to go. I don't know where Senator will come to Liberia, but when you just put the sanction on, then they can't travel. They don't care. They're still making their money. They're still looting the poor resources. So the lawmaker said, or the ambassador said, finally it calls on the U.S. Treasury and State Departments to continue to impose targeted sanctions against, I'm glad, and let's say impose sanctions on the whole country, right? It's targeted so that certain individuals they are going after. They know them already, corrupt people. So targeted sanctions against those responsible for undermining the rule of law and trust of the Liberian people through corruption, gross violations of human rights, and other acts that threaten the peace and security of Liberia. Days later, in her address at SKD Stadium on February 14, Special Assistant to the President of the United States, Dana Banks, stated that corruption eats away at the democracy you have worked so hard to build. But ultimately, only the Liberian government and the Liberian people can tackle corruption, fight for accountability, transparency, and move this country forward. We the one can do it. Like Dr. Fambula said, the African people are their own liberators. We will liberate ourselves. If we are waiting for us out to come, we'll stay on inside. So those of you, those of us that are not corrupt, we got to move the corrupt people from power and put noble people, patriotic citizens. When you are patriotic, you love your country. So when you love your country, you don't want to harm your country. But right now, we have a bunch of other people, they are unpatriotic. They are just there, they are ethical egoists, that I would call them. It's all about themselves. They don't care about the people. They don't care. So now I'll hear I'll have conversation with people and they say, they'll say, oh, this is about me. The country has been here forever. You know, I can't change it. If you can't change it, why you accept the position? Just to lose from the people? You have to make a change. So the ambassador article says, as these statements indicate, U.S. government is sufficiently concerned about corruption in Liberia to sanction individuals, okay? So the U.S. is concerned. It will be sanctioning individuals in the country. Corruption leads to citizen frustration and has had destabilizing effects on countries in the region. It imposes significant risk to peace and democracy. Okay? How would Liberia's first statement feel to know that his country's top ally was compelled to sanction members of Liberia's government just to preserve rule of law and the democracy he helped establish? I wonder. All right. So that's why the U.S. government, the ambassador said, how will the first, America is a Liberia ally, right? It's a friend. I mean, how would Liberia's first statement feel, Joseph Jingin Rao or George Washington, how will he feel that his country, the top ally, Liberia, was compelled to sanction members of Liberia's government? How Washington will feel? He would not feel good. But he got to do it. Because if action is not taken, or actions are not taken, the people will continue to suppress their own people. They will continue to pocket the money, siphon the money into local and international bank accounts. They buy fancy houses overseas. And the people are meandering in poverty in Liberia. And that is okay. Then they come to there and get a hand out. They get in crumbs. And that's okay. Open the country up. The country is just less than 6 million human beings. And we got all the resources, but yet the people are suffering. Okay, so that's what the ambassador said, right? Now, y'all look at y'all Liberian people, y'all get plenty of boat people there, right? So y'all look at y'all gonna read another boatman, Liberian boatman, you say you replying to the ambassador. So nonsense you are talking, at least to me. Nonsense the man was talking. He validated what the ambassador said. So let me look at it. Let's look at the other man. So a U.S. Ambassador, right? To Liberia versus a Liberian man too, a boatman. Let's look at Liberian boatman on an article he wrote. I rejoined it, right? So you got in rejoinder to what would J.J. Rivers have to say about Liberians today, written by U.S. Ambassador to Liberia Michael A. McCarthy, right? So that a rejoinder, that is ambassador here. Okay, this is the ambassador. So now the Liberian boatman, he wrote this March 15, 2022 by Jacob T. Binda, contributing writer, right? For I think it's new newspaper here. So let's see. So what Binda wrote, rejoinder. Okay, when you write rejoinder, when I send it rejoinder here, you are refuting what somebody say. You're breaking it down. You're making the person look ridiculous. You say the person is lying and stuff like that. So that yes, the man rejoinder now. What would George Washington say about America's relations with Liberia after 200 years? Okay, because the man said, what would J.J. Rowell say, right? So the man said, what would George Washington say? Because George Washington is the first president of America, right? All right, so the man basically he plagiarizing the ambassador, all right? You're copying the man. So this is why he said, the Liberian boatman, I mean, the man stated true, and then you want to argue with the man. He knows book. He been to school before. So this is what the guy said. March 15 was Joseph Jenkins, J.J. Jenkins Roberts' birthday in Liberia. A day celebrating the life and accomplishments of the nation's first president. The United States of America and the Republic of Liberia have close consanguinity. Okay, that both men they have the same connection, blood relationship, consanguinity. They're speaking people. Liberia man, that ambassador rule out in right now. He didn't read people, but the man say consanguinity, blood relationship. They get connection, right? The United States of America and the Republic of Liberia have close consanguinity. Liberia was founded by free slaves from the United States of America in 1822, 200 years ago. So it was no surprise that the United States government, through its embassy near Monrovia, who make a statement commemorating this day for Roberts, who was born in Virginia in the USA. All right? And Mr. Jacob Bernard replying to the ambassador, right? So now, you feeling that? The next paragraph. As the day began, Liberians were awakened to a strongly worded op-ed piece by Michael A. McCarthy, U.S. ambassador to Liberia. The diplomat bluntly confronted the Liberian people for what he considers serious lapses in governance, reflected in corruption, lack of basic drugs in clinics and hospitals, bemoaned the mounting of garbage in the nation's capital, and demanded to know why Liberians are incapable of removing dirt from the streets of the nation's capital. The ambassador did not include a caveat in his op-ed that the evils he recounted were not new and were in fact challenges that have bedeviled previous administrations. All right, so basically, here what the man is doing here, the sentence right. Let me read that sentence again. He said the ambassador did not include a caveat or a warning in his op-ed that the evils he recounted were not new. So in other words, that old thing that they've been around a long time. Okay, nobody's arguing around that new thing. No. So the ambassador did not say these are new. They've been around for a long time. Government after government after government after government. The same thing persists. All right. So the man is asking, what would J.J. Rivers say? The ambassador did not include a caveat in his op-ed that the evils he recounted were not new and were in fact challenges that had bedeviled previous administrations. Okay. Previous administrations had these problems, right? That's true. And that's what George Weah agreed to say, those people failed. And so we are coming out to clean the mess. So you don't still refer to previous administration. No, you don't go to them. The onus is upon you now to clean out the mess. So going to previous administration is a basic philosophical fallacy. The guy committed here. It's called to quoque fallacy. To quoque fallacy. That's the fallacy. So it's a Latin for you too. When somebody accuses you of something, you flip it too. So it's called a B word for that. It's called recrimination. When somebody charges you, you put counter charge on the person. Now what the man doing here? He's not answering the concern, what the issue the ambassador raised. Now let's go to the next paragraph. What you say here? So the whole article is a basic fallacy to quoque fallacy. All right, it's a logical fallacy where you point finger at the next. When somebody accuses you, then you point finger at the man too. Now what he doing here? Nothing different. It's just a diversionary tactic to pull your attention to something else without addressing the issue itself. So the man went on to say that Jacob Binda, no one can deny that Liberia has historically faced challenges with corruption. Okay, so he admitted to what the ambassador said already. The ambassador talked about corruption and he said, okay, no one can deny that. So he conceded the point already. So I don't know where he's going with it, but let's go. No one can deny that Liberia has historically faced challenges with corruption, lack of accountability during the post-war period. Waste management has shown to be a difficult task in the city of Monrovia due to the inorganic population growth from the 14 years of civil war. Moreover, the government of Liberia is urged to take seriously the concerns of the American ambassador. Okay, so he say, okay, we got to take it seriously. The government of Liberia should take it seriously. But the public should be warned that the ambassador took the liberty to rant. He said the man was ranting, right? He said the man was ranting, he raved, okay? That's what they call rational ranting. You don't ask, people are not, the medical facility cannot be empty when people are sending 110 million and 79 million just to buy drugs and stuff. And you say the man is ranting. He's not ranting unnecessarily. It's a necessary ranting, okay? So they said he took the liberty to rant and rave at a poor country. The man sending money, the taxpayer of the United States is sending out money to the poor country to do something. A few people are stealing the money. And you say, oh, the man should not talk. He should talk. That's what the man's supposed to do. People are sending their taxpayer money, and few people are pocketing the money. The public should be warned that the ambassador took the liberty to rant and rave at a poor country, mostly dependent upon aid from the United States and other donors. Okay, he acknowledged that America is sending the money. But he said, why the man talking? In other words, now what he's saying. And conveniently omitted from his narrative that the country's existence has been characterized by neglect. Okay, the man playing blame game now, neglect. Is this country a dependent country or an independent country? Why did you declare yourself as an independent country? When you say you're declaring yourself as an independent country, if you live with your parents and you tell your parents today, I'm going out there, it means that you can take care of yourself. So you say neglected? No. When you go out there, you have the onus, the responsibility is on you to take care of yourself. Other people can come and help you, but it's not mandatory. You don't cry on them. So the man said here, conveniently omitted from his narrative that the country's existence has been characterized by neglect, exploitation, and collusion of the international system with corrupt elites. Okay? They've been colluding, the international system, they've been collaborating with corrupt elites in the country. Okay, if you are a patriot, if you love your country and you are elite and you let Osalo to come manipulate you, then you are dumb. So you don't blame the Osalo, you blame yourself. So reluctantly, the man said, reluctantly, he neglects, resultantly, actually, the neglect, exploitation, and collusion led to a fratricidal, okay, speaking people, fratricidal conflict, okay, fratricidal brother and sister, brother killing brother, okay. The brothers that were killing brothers, they don't have brains in their head. They are what bunch of what? They are brainless people. Resultantly, he said because of the people colluded, so as a result, the brothers, they killed brother, the conflict. So he said, let me read it word for word. Resultantly, the neglect exploitation because the other world did not pay attention to Liberia and independent country. So as a result, exploitation went on, the collusion led to a fratricidal conflict and a failed state, with all institutions mostly destroyed and human capacity substantially reduced, while the Americans stood by as the carnage engulfed the entire nation. Okay, so now he's blaming America now for what went on in the country. Okay, it was America that asked your leaders to be corrupt? Was it America that sent Charter to steal the money from the country and run away from the country when you are at GSA? It was America? So we blame other people for our own blunder, for our own negligence. You know, that's what we do. We play the blinking 24/7. Did America participate? Yes, she did. But what the author did not recognize also is the war in Liberia was ended by America. Had George Bush not told Charles to leave the country, Charles would have been over there still and suppressing people. But the man said, resultantly, that neglect, exploitation, and collusion led to fratricidal conflict and a failed state, with all institutions mostly destroyed and human capacity substantially reduced, while the Americans stood by as the carnage engulfed the entire nation. Okay? So the men are blaming America for brothers and brothers killing each other. You killing your brother, that's okay, but you blaming Osalo. Why is it right for you to kill your brother? Even Osalo told you to do that. Is that something right in your mind to do, to kill your brother? So they went on to say, Mr. Binda, Jacob, not only did the U.S. government stand idly during the war, but Firestone plantations, okay, now the blame game is two cocoa fallacy here. But Firestone Plantations, Company of Akron, Ohio, the American rubber giant actively supported and gained financially by alliance with one of the factions, the National Patriotic Front of Liberia. Okay, Firestone is a business entity. It's a company, business doing business. So when Charter and people are stupid enough, why the man want to make money? It's a businessman. The man did not carry gun. A Charter don't carry gun to your country, and no rebel leaders. So the man saying, blaming America now. And by the way, Firestone did not go to Liberia illegally. It was the same leaders that signed the 99-year contract for the people to use the land. And you say, oh, the man saying, oh, that Firestone did business with Charter and people. Why would Charter go do business? The people that business. What is the job of businessmen? To make money, to make profit. So when your leaders are stupid, then you blame us for doing business. So the man said, not only did the U.S. government stand by idly during the war, but Firestone Plantations Company of Akron, Ohio, the American rubber giant actively supported and gained financially by alliance with one of the factions, the National Patriotic Front of Liberia. They call that patriotic. The men killing people, they call that patriotic. That's how they play the language games on the people. All right? NPFL, led by Charles Taylor. Okay, he didn't say it was led by an American. He said it was led by Charles Taylor, but he blaming America. The former Liberian president, okay, he qualified that former Liberian president. He didn't want to let it war. But the man said, why Firestone doing business with Charles Taylor? But Charles Taylor don't want to do business with the people want to make profits. Taylor is currently serving time for war crimes, including recruitment of child soldiers, gross human rights violations, amputation of limbs, and sexual slavery. Okay, they all want to blame Charles Taylor, but blaming America. Okay, and America was instrumental in carrying Charles Taylor to jail. Okay, had it been for Liberia, Charles Taylor will be over there. They will be singing for you. You kill my pa, you kill my mom. I will vote for you. They will be doing that. America had to take that man from our back, but they right on blaming America. America brought the war to Liberia. Your own people, the leaders' stupidity, that what brought war to your country. Okay? Have Firestone not supported the NPFL, the war who have ended sooner, saving hundreds of thousands of lives? Why would have ended the war? Chartered would not go to other countries to buy guns. So it would have ended the war. The men were still getting guns from other countries. You need to go to Taiwan and get guns and can't get away your own people. So you don't blame Firestone for this. Again, it's business. A businessman wants to make money. He wants to make profit. So if you want to create war, somebody man can't do business with you. You don't blame the man. You blame yourself for killing yourself. Okay? Firestone now supported the NPFL, the war who have ended sooner, saving hundreds of thousands of lives and preserving Liberia's infrastructure that was almost completely destroyed during the Sinsley conflict. Okay, so Sinsley, that Liberian is not destroyed the country. And Americans are still sending money. The main ambassador said they send $110 million every year to Liberia, including $79 million for the healthcare sector. But the man still blaming America. Firestone's role in the economic history of Liberia is also connected to slave wages. That's what your country leaders agreed on. No concessions agreement, they were signed into law by your leaders. So the leaders are the ones you're supposed to blame. You don't blame the businessman. If you sign the slave wages with the company, they will give it to the people because your country they finish bribing your leaders so they can say, you know what, you're pay the poor than anything. You blame the company, you blame your leaders. They don't protect the interests of the people. So Firestone's role in the economic history of Liberia is also connected to slave wages, mistreatment of its workers, and exploitation of the Liberian economy by transfer pricing and other commercial malpractices. My man, if you don't put the laws in place in your country, you don't enforce the law, you have to seek your own interest. If you don't seek the interest of the citizen, the businessman will exploit the people. You got to put that businessman in check using your laws. But you won't blame the man. You make your laws, the laws are vulnerable. You make the people to permeate the country and you're blaming the people. It's yourself you got to blame. In contrast, Liberia, there is La Côte d'Ivoire. Now you're coming to talk about other countries. After the blunders of the leaders in his country, now you're coming to other countries. In contrast, Liberia, there is La Côte d'Ivoire. In contrast, there is La Côte d'Ivoire, next door to Liberia, a former French colony. Liberia wasn't a colony of the United States, so we got to make that clear. Liberia wasn't a colony. Liberia wasn't colonized according to all the historical documents out there. Okay, so I don't know why he comparing that to a colony of a French. The comparison is off. In contrast, there is La Côte d'Ivoire, next door to Liberia, a former French colony, also a post-conflict nation with fewer than 200 years association with that European nation, but a country that is an agricultural giant. All right, that France doing agriculture for the French, for the Ivorians. The people themselves, they work hard in your country. Look at your budget. See how much they pour into agriculture. It's negligible. You don't empower the people to make farm, and you won't blame, you won't compare. They pour a lot of money into farming. You take the money and get just the president alone $20 million. Why does it need $20 million? You don't put the money into areas that need the money, and you want to blame, you comparing, you're making wrong analysis here. Okay, so you say that is an agriculture giant with infrastructure that include 94% electricity penetration. Okay, my man, the people got good leaders. The people that are in Ivory Coast, the leaders, they are patriotic, they love their country, so they get 94% electricity penetration. They're using the money appropriately. Whereas in Liberia, their leaders are putting the money in their pocket. So it has nothing to do with French colonies and all of that. The people been pumping money into Liberia is because you guys don't want to use, the leaders don't want to use the money to improve the lives of the people. So you can't blame the French people or the French people, the French, France developing Ivory Coast, and America is not doing. America sending money to Liberia, but your corrupt leader eating the money. That's the problem. Your new leader that in power now, he came 1 year. The man was world best, African best, UN ambassador, peace ambassador on Allen Justice Elite, senator. He did not build 47 horses, or if you ask the former information minister, what they call you, Eugene Nabwe, when he came to Philadelphia, when they asked him, he said, oh, that small 16 houses. Why you need 16 houses in a poor country? Why? Why you didn't build the 16 houses when you are world best, when you are European best, when you're African best, when you're UN ambassador, when you're a senator, 1 year in your presidency, you're building 16. What else 16 or 47? The idea is 16 too much for one man. But they're blaming other people. You got terrible leaders, and that's what the problem is. America, they got a machine that can manufacture money. Joe Biden doesn't have 16 houses. Obama doesn't have 16 houses. The President Trump, man, he has 16 houses all over the place. But in a poor country where the people, the other country, they're sending their taxpayer money to your country, then you are building mansions all over the place. Then you say, oh, we don't have money to throw debt away. Bro, finish. Yeah, terrible leaders. All right, so the man said, in contrast, there is La Côte d'Ivoire, next door to Liberia, a former French colony, also a post-conflict nation with fewer than 200 years association with that European nation, but a country that is an agricultural giant with infrastructure that includes 94% electricity penetration and modern roads and amenities. The GDP of La Côte d'Ivoire was $60 billion in 2021, with a per capita GDP of 2,300 USD. In contrast, the GDP of Liberia was $2.95 million with a per capita GDP of only 743 US dollars. You blame your leaders. You don't blame US in that. You blame your leaders. They send the money, the people ate the money. Ellen Johnson said he was there. They sent billions of dollars over there. Nothing is being done. The ambassador, the man responding to the ambassador now, they call him Jacob Bennett. Okay, he's the writer. In replying to the ambassador, beautiful piece he wrote. So the ambassador made many statements that should not go unchecked. So the man come and check the ambassador statement out that he made. So the uninitiated, okay, those are all that uninitiated that I don't know nothing. The man come and educate us now. Just listen. To the uninitiated, the diplomats' claims about the quantum of United States aid to Liberia, about $110 million, including $79 million to the healthcare sector, annually seems like direct support to the government of Liberia. Until you say it seems, right? But it's not direct. In other words, I want to say not direct money. Listen to what he's saying now. This is far from the truth. U.S. aid to Liberia is coordinated by the United States Agency for International Development. Okay? So, in other words, the man is saying they must send the money straight to Liberia so they can go in and corrupt people in their pocket. So he's saying, in other words, the reason we don't have development right now is because the money not coming to us. Take, for example, the $75 we are paying at the airport when we go to Liberia. $75 back and forth. And the people that go to, what are they doing with that money? The money coming straight direct to Liberia. The $75 that we are paying every time we travel to Liberia. What are they doing with the money? But the man say the ambassador made statements that should not go unchecked. To the uninitiated, the diplomats claim about the quantum of United States aid to Liberia, about $110 million, including $79 million to the healthcare sector, and what it seems like direct deposit or direct support to the government of Liberia. This is far from the truth. U.S. aid to Liberia is coordinated by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, and a multitude of non-governmental organizations, NGOs, known as implementing partners. Okay, so the man is giving all these excuses. Guess what? Other countries are on the same program, right? And they are developing, for example, Rwanda. They own these programs. They put monitoring they're spending as well. People spending high-end money. And the man say, oh, why they monitoring it? They should just come to the corrupt people pocket. You are not doing something, you are not doing things right. The money that you are getting correctly, directly, you are not spending the money to help the people. But you say, oh, the people, they macro managing, they're making sure they provide the oversight. The money not coming straight to us. Yeah, because you are not straight. And that's why would somebody be a rogue and somebody put money directly in that rogue? So you're making all the frivolous and people saying excuses. They are not strong at all. So Jacob went on to say, U.S. aid to Liberia is coordinated by the United States Agency for International Development and a multitude of non-governmental organizations, NGOs, are known as implementing partners. In 2020, more than $8.5 billion went to sub-Saharan countries. The aid industry in the global south, known as poverty reduction, is larger than most sectors. A phalanx of so-called experts of it. The phalanx basically is a group, all right? The phalanx of so-called experts for the United States and donor nations and ministers more than 90% of aid monies coming to developing nation. Okay, the cartel, because those countries are not transparent. If you are transparent, if you are fair, then of course you will not need people to monitor the money that coming. Okay, but in as much you are not straightforward, nobody will give you money and go just turn that back. People money that other people tax you on money they spend it, they give it to you. All right, and he said distressingly, most aid procurement contracts are largely mechanisms used to fund support to commercial enterprises in the home countries. Okay, so in blaming other countries, they pour all this into play so the money can come back to their countries. Okay, while other countries are developing, under Liberia, these same programs, other countries are on it, but they are developing. Ghana and the countries, they are also on this program. They are developing. Is that only Liberia alone? They got all the NGOs in the middle of it. The guy just giving all these weak excuses. And what they do when they eat money, then they bring all the excuses because they go to school and they know how to write. All right, so the man said he went on. Now he come and give you a breakdown. He come and give you a breakdown of the money. The United States ambassador was inaccurate, he said, in the quantum of aid to Liberia. For the last year reported in 2020, the quantum of aid to Liberia, as updated by the USAID on February 21st, 2022, was $120 million. Okay? The man is validating, he said $120 million. The US ambassador is not correct because he said 110. But the man said actually it's $120 million. Liberia was only at 21st place in the amount of US aid sent to sub-Saharan country. Okay, 21st place. In order to go up, you have to meet certain benchmarks. You are not meeting it, so you are not meeting no benchmarks. If you look at the transparency index, Liberia is not making progress. It's been failing on the job. We are so why you want to be first. All right. So Liberia was only at 21st place in the amount of US aid sent to sub-Saharan Africa. Ethiopia received $1 billion at first place. Okay, Ethiopia doing something right. I want to receive that money. And the Gambia at 22nd. The money spent in the name of Liberia went to the following sectors. Okay, the ambassador said, basically the man validating what the ambassador said. He's not refuting the man. All right, so he said $54 million to health and population. 54 million. Okay, the ambassador said 79 million. So the man said 54 million. You still got money. What are you doing with the $54 million? So they said the man is inaccurate. So it's not 79 million, but you still not. I thought you would say, oh, that's zero. But the people saying that taxpayer money, whether you are correct or not, 54 million every year. $54 million to health and population. $24 million in administration costs, $11 million to governance, $18 million to education, $7.1 million to agriculture. Okay, I don't know how many farms will get in that play now. $2 million to infrastructure. Now every year they're sending them money. $1.7 million to humanitarian aid, $3.0 million to other unspecified activities. The ambassador was inaccurate in his characterization of the quantum, character, and form of aid sent to Liberia in the last year reported. Moreover, the ambassador did not indicate the level of aid effectiveness of the money spent as required by the Busan Declaration. The Busan Partnership Agreement sets out principles, commitments, and actions that offer a foundation for effective cooperation in support of international development. The Busan Partnership Agreement is a consensus that a wider range of governments and organizations have expressed their support for. Simply put, it must be effective with quantifiable outcome indicators, and despite the nearly $5 billion of U.S. aid spent in the name of Liberia between 2006 and 2017, the United States government, through its ambassador, cannot state clearly how that aid benefited Liberia and why poverty persists in such magnitude nearly 20 years in the country's post-war dispensation. Okay, so the guy basically, I don't know what he's talking about. The money went to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, and later on, John Weah came, some of the money went to him. But you say, how come we don't see development? The Americans are going to answer that question, or are your leaders? Ask your leader that question. The $5 billion you talk about that they sent. Ask your leader what they did with the money, not US. So the guy, he doesn't know why he's just talking if you're writing to show off that he can write. So you just shot yourself and you just validated what is the lawmakers or the diplomat said, the ambassador said. So he went on to say the United States ambassador complained that healthcare facilities in Colahome, local county, and Sinoe Nima County, and make do without basic drugs. This was a disingenuous, okay, the man, is it the man, when I'm telling the truth, he was lying basically. There was a disingenuous attempt to place responsibility on the government of Liberia or officials for the diversion or theft of drugs from public healthcare centers to private ones. The act of diversion of drugs from public to private clinics is as old as the Republic of Liberia and is in fact not an uncommon occurrence in Liberia. It's not, you say, well, let me go back again. The United States ambassador complained that health care facilities in Colahome, Lofa County, and Sinoe Nima County make do without basic drugs. This was a disingenuous attempt to place responsibility on the government of Liberia or officials for the diversion or theft or stealing of drugs from public healthcare centers to private ones. Listen to what he can say now. The act of diversion of drugs from public to private clinics is as old as the Republic of Liberia and is in fact not an uncommon occurrence in Africa. So you did not answer that question. You just validated what the man said. It is not uncommon. Why are you doing it? He said he practiced everywhere in Africa. Does that answer the man's concern? No. You say it's as old as Liberia. When are you going to stop it? You got to do something about it. You can't say, oh, it's as old as the country is, so that's the answer to the question. The man is telling you, you are stealing drugs, the medication not going to where they're supposed to go, and the man say, oh, the problem is as old as Liberia. It's not the answer to the question. You are deviating. We don't say the man, he didn't say it came from this point. He said, people are stealing money, drugs from the hospital, Colahome, and the man say it as old as the Republic of Liberia, and it happened everywhere in Africa. The guy is a terrible guy. He didn't help himself. He just supported basically the ambassador. He said the ambassador also sought to make the diversion of drugs a new phenomenon. The man did not make it a new. He said people are stealing drugs. Now what he said, he didn't say old or new. He just said people are stealing. They send 110 million and 79 million to healthcare center and post the money. Then the man said the ambassador also sought to make the diversion of drugs a new phenomenon, when in fact evidence abounds. Now over the 12 years of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration, frequent drug diversion and thefts were reported at the National Drugs Service, a government agency responsible for distributing drugs to government hospitals and clinics, and even theft of funding by officials of the NDS. Okay, it happened on Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, right? And it's happening on George Weah. Okay, If you say your predecessor stole, why George Weah did not go after your predecessor to audit that person, to bring the person to justice? You did nothing. You say the person stole. You did nothing to go after the person. And the people are telling, they are blaming, they are saying, oh, why people are stealing on the administration? So, oh, the other one that was stealing, why you're not saying something about it? While you say you are going to fix things, and that's why you came. So you don't go back to the past. If you don't hold Ellen Johnson Sirleaf responsible, you can't be referring to the past. You fail to do your job. So you can't say, oh, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf get money, and the same thing happened on our watch, and so you did not talk about it. Okay, you did not talk about why when you got in power, you did not go after Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Why? You kept quiet because you got some of the money. So the man went on, the author said, in recounting the quantum of U.S. aid to Liberia in a recent period, the ambassador failed to indicate that overall official development aid, ODA, has been substantially reduced from a high of $1.4 billion in 2010 to only $597 million in the last year, 2019, when figures were reported. Liberia received on average annually $776 million in aid between 2010 and 2017. All right, my man, the corruption is prevalent. There's $16 billion Liberian missing, no accountability. You guys, we are government, the commission and audit, they set up presidential team, they call Crow to do the investigation. The people made a report. Nothing has been done. But you want the people to send you $1.4 billion when you are not accountable to the people. When auditors are dying in the country, and you say the people should say $1.4 billion, you have to put something. The transparency accountability index stuff, you can't pass the test, but you expect the people to send you $1.4 billion. Even with all the corruption going on, you just say you admit it. Annually, every year, they send $776 million to Liberia. What are you doing? And no drugs in the hospitals in the country. And the people are going on strike. But you are blaming America. The people still getting money. You didn't say, oh, they took it from 1.4 and they gave us 0. You will say the people giving $776 million still. They're giving it to the country. You have to be clapping for America. Instead of coming here and saying the man disingenuous, you are being dishonest to us. The man went on to say, Jacob T. Binda, replying to the ambassador, he said, the drop in aid reduced spending for operations of the UN in Liberia, including aggregate demand of $200 million annually, has put a strain on the Liberian economy. All right, so he said, because they reduced the money and we are not getting $200 million, they did a reduction. I mean, nobody will give you more money if you don't want to be transparent. You don't want to be accountable for the first money they gave you. You don't know how the money is being spent, and you expect the people to give you all that $1.4 million. You got to do something to earn it. It's not free money. You have to show that you are responsible. Then they will give you that money. Well, if you're not showing that you are responsible, why would somebody give you more money? Ghana and no country that get it, the people can see something going on in the country that is spending the money wisely. But the man say, oh, the poor reduce the money, and that's why we are struggling right now. Do something to improve the governance. So the man said, the ambassador mentioned Ebola, and interestingly, did not mention the fact that 2021 was the first year of positive economic growth since the disease invaded Liberia in 2014. My man, it's not about putting anything on paper. It should be reflected in the lives of the people. Let us see it. That there's an economic growth going on in the country. Everything is skyrocketing in the country. I mean, people are suffering in our place. The man say, oh, you're doing theoretical, what you call the economics. There's theoretical, want something practical that will be reflected in the lives of the people. The ambassador mentioned Ebola, and interestingly, did not mention the fact that 2021 was the first year of positive economic growth since the disease invaded Liberia in 2014. Moreover, since the departure of UN troops and security forces, Liberia must now pay for its own security, balance the national budget, and provide basic. Yeah, Mr. Monjue, I will call you back. Let me finish this. I will call you right back. Let me finish the article. I'll return your call. I'll call you back. Let me finish. I'm about to finish the article. Moreover, since the departure of UN troops and security forces, Liberia must now pay for its own security. You are an independent country. You don't expect other people to do that for you. You declare yourself an independent country, and therefore you should be responsible for yourself. All right. When people do it again, when they help you, they just been what they call benevolent. They're being nice to you, they're being generous. You are not, they are not beholden to you. Okay. Balance the national budget, even though the budget is not close to balancing, and provide basic services to the Liberian people. Reading the ambassador's piece, one will get the mistaken impression that the sky is falling in Liberia. Yes, the sky is falling. When people are leaving the hospital, they're barren patient, the sky is falling. That is far from the truth. Growth prospects for the Liberian economy have been revised to indicate an uptick of 4% in the last. The men are just doing again. This is theory the guy doing. But man, let the team be reflected in the everyday, the Oman in the village, in Boko Jire or in Kolahun. Let we see that reflected in the life of the people. Now we say about that theory doing that when they put things on people and people are drinking daily water and say things are improving. I mean, the guys and things. I mean, they just fooling our people. We don't leave that Western model and putting statistics around. Let them see that. Let food be on the people's table. Then the people start drinking daily water. Then when somebody wants to take their child to the hospital, they shouldn't be worrying whether they will get drugs. Then we're talking, but you're talking all that theory, they pour all that thing on people. With more positive growth projected for 2022. You say projected for the coming on 2022. We're in 2022 right now, right? And the people with no drugs in hospital. The ambassador did not indicate the progress, but instead dwelt on the challenges that exist in most sub-Saharan countries. My man, the man is what appealing to the crowd. Oh, it's happening in Sub-Saharan Africa, so Liberia should not make progress. It's happening everywhere, and so nobody should talk about it, my man. You have to distinguish yourself from the other people. Get yourself from the crowd. Get responsible leaders. Let the leaders spend the money wisely. Prioritize what is important. Not to give money to girlfriends and build unnecessary houses and people don't have drinking water. The man went on to say the ambassador bemoaned the dirt in the city of Monrovia. Unquestionably, the man said unquestionably, he not say questionably. So it's not questionable. What the ambassador said is true. Unquestionably, the city of Monrovia faces challenges in solid waste management. Okay, I agree with the ambassador. But a quarrying system of waste management was developed by the World Bank and donors. Okay, instead of World Bank, I put that thing in place. And so let the people drop the dirt all over the place. And does not include an indigenized approach. Okay, that the people, the indigenous, is that indigenous? I mean, that people that do it, the local people that are supposed to do it. And speaking people, indigenous approach. And with greater private sector, okay, he got a whole place, he got the information from starting and all of that. Okay, I'm not going to go through all of that. A common form of corruption or a mitigation strategy, September 2018. Okay, he started a daily observer, all of that. That's how he's citing his source where he got the information from. 3, statistics at glance to Africa. He got a source over their participation. Okay, he said municipalities around the globe are turning to the private sector to provide efficiencies in solid waste management. But the World Bank and donors created a system that is clearly inefficient. Okay? Why is World Bank doing it right now? Because you're not doing anything right, so World Bank got to come in. All right? You are not to throw there where you're not able, so foreigner got to come. The World Bank, Cities Alliance, United Nations Environmental Program, European Union, community-based enterprises, including organized private collection firms, civil society, politicians, and the public have sought to support improvements in solid waste management in the city, but frustrations persist. Indeed, the city of Monrovia must wean itself from donor funding, but the foundation for efficient solid waste management was sacrificed for a system that included a convoluted system of community involvement in a city with over 1 million people that does not exist anywhere on the planet. I don't know what a man live in. A country, Monrovia alone get over 1 million. New York alone get 8 million people. Okay, that the whole Labrador cover the whole Labrador population. New York alone, that 8 million human beings. I live in Philadelphia, it's 1.6 million people. So you don't say it haven't seen anywhere in the world. As the major line, Lagos, Nigeria, 14 million people in Lagos, Nigeria. So they just make all the weak excuses. Weak. Philadelphia, right here. Chicago got 2 million human beings. They say they are Chicago. And the man said that only Monrovia, the only thing you see in the world. That the last they put around. He said, let me read that again. He said, for efficient solid waste management was sacrificed for a system that included a convoluted system of community involvement in a city with over 1 million people that does not exist anywhere on the planet. It's a big lie. It's a big lie. The management system in Philadelphia is more convoluted than what we have in Liberia. All right, in Monrovia. Inefficiencies in the collection and disposal of solid waste management in Monrovia are the result of lack of planning, inadequate financial resources. The man just complaining. Who's supposed to plan it? The international community to plan how you should throw that away. Lack of planning, inadequate financial resources. Okay, let it geography coaching and start buying Gucci. All right, let us start buying. Let George Weah and start buying horses, all building horses all over the place, and you see where the money will come. The man just bought cars for all the chief in the various country. Where is he taking the money from? And he can't manage the city. All right, you just throw that away in the city, but you're blaming people. Inadequate financial resources and inorganic growth of the city arising out of the 14-year conflict. You just blaming them one war over Rwanda was damaged, and the people on coast now, they're sending people to Rwanda to go to school. Liberia sending people to Rwanda right now, right? To send people to school, but they just crying about it. One war over there, as if to say Liberia is the only country that got war. That's how they kind of complaining, my man. Nothing is being done in that country because of corruption. A conflict that increased the city's population to more than 1.2 million population, from over 600,000 in a post-war years, my man. You will not do anything that all the people that come into town. The people, you abandon the villages and the towns, and so the people come into the cities. Now what? If you want the people to go to the suburban or suburbanization, and you want to leave urbanization, you do something. You start concentrating everything in Monrovia, and then Monrovia population will not go up. But in as much you got everything in Monrovia, people will leave the villages and come to town. They go in the villages too. Their children won't be engineers, they won't be doctors. They don't have access to school, good school. They will come so their children can go to a good school. They don't want to be in the village and nothing there, and they just become farmers and hunters. No, you got to decentralize stuff, and people will stay there when they get good universities in Sinoe, good university in Maryland, good university in Lofa, good university in Sinoe County. The people will stay there. But you know how not everything is just in Monrovia. And you say, oh, the population growing. You have to do something to reduce the population. If you don't decentralize things, everybody will come to the city. So the man said, Jacob, we're about to finish the article. Jacob said, moreover, mostly obstructing Monrovia's solid waste management is the lack of public support. He blaming, my man, that while you are in power as a leader, the people in power, they have to make sure that the public will cooperate. The government is in place for a reason. Government is not a friend of the people. You are there to put in system, and you have to demand the people to obey the system you put in place. Try in America a job. The stop sign or you get ticket, don't pay. Don't leave it. Don't ignore the government. The day they tow your car, all the ticket and you will pay everything all the while, you will not get your car. But in that place, they just do all Labrador men say mako. Mostly obstructing Monrovia's solid waste management is the lack of public support due to limited information and knowledge and a coordinated implementation plan with a model that governances public embrace, mobilizes resources, and sets out clear objectives and demonstrably shows the long-term positive impact of the city's strategic plan for solid waste management. The donor-led system has not worked, and so it is unreasonable for the city of Monrovia. Reasonable for the city of Monrovia, without her own source of revenues, a veritable tax base, and an independent city government to create and implement a solid waste management system without donor support in the immediate term. So the man just making excuses. That's what they do. They put it into a strategic plan. It has to be Jefferson Koji. That what the man is the governor or the city mayor. All those things. I mean, you don't expect us associates to do it for you. Find a way to generate funds. You know, the medicine donor is still blaming the organization, the Osar forces. The medicine donor intervention. I mean, there are things in the country that Osars are not participating in. Why things are not working? Or is it because of Osar again? Is that everything that U.S. Osar managing? I just give you an example of the $75 that we pay. We'll enter the country when we're coming back. What are they doing with the money? Well, is it because of U.S. again that the $75 that we pay? Then they give all the accounting amount, how much we generated from the airport, in and out. They will not give you the accounting of that money. But they blame us our forces. All right, so the man said, the medicine donor intervention, bringing in the donor, that people helping you, they're giving you money, but you're blaming the people. You're not giving the donor anything, they're giving you money. The medicine donor intervention, bringing in companies like Zoom Lion from Ghana did not allow Liberians to create domestic ownership of waste management. We did not ask foreigners to assist us with management in the entire history of Liberia. It was only in the post-war period when donor support was embedded in every activity for private gain. From both the donors to support their commercial enterprises and from government officials beholden to the international system was when garbage collection became an international form of donor support. We did not ask for donor support. All right. So while Jefferson coaching and going all over the place and looking for money, the other day I think they were engaging the New Jersey city mayor for help. So why is he doing that? So the guy doesn't know what he's saying. You don't get you don't need donor for support. Okay, why you're blaming donors then? You just said the people getting all the money. What are you doing? Is the point? So the man said the man is not being honest here. You are being disingenuous. Jacob is not being genuine here. He's being disingenuous. So the man said the donor inserted themselves in an activity best suited for the private sector, and voila, we have the mess they created. All right, so he's shifting the blame on us. He doesn't want to take responsibility for the failure of his own government. He put it on us, our people. Let me read the last paragraph. The ambassador writes about transparency in voting at the legislature and indicating that voting machines were installed in 2014 that will indicate how legislators vote. But this is outrage that was not directed at the government of Liberia under the pop star presidency of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf between 2014. So because it was not done on Ellen, so it shouldn't be done now. I mean, the guy just an elementary fallacy here, the man committing. Oh, it was not done before, and so why the people talking now? The Liberian get a parable and say sheep and gold locks are not the same. All right, so what it didn't happen on Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. The corruption, you notice it on Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. You did not audit or you did not hold responsible for anything, and people are holding responsible now. It's they don't talk to the guy when the people before me. My man, you blunder and now you take the responsibility. You are in charge of the country and start blaming people before you if you don't do your work. All right. So the man said, but this is outrage that was not directed at the government of Liberia under the pop star president of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf between 2014 and 2017. Why now? Because you are in power now and you are in charge of everything, and so you hold you responsible. Your leaders responsible. Why now? Well, the corruption is too much. We didn't say corruption did not go on Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. but you came and you did not go after Eddie. All right, so you can't blame us others. Why this righteous indignation over the lack of transparency in the Liberian legislature? Where was the outrage? 166 out of 68 concession agreements were being passed fraudulently when American companies were the beneficiaries of the lack of transparency. All right, Chevron, ExxonMobil, that's Anadaco, what that company is, ArcelorMittal, with a major presence in the United States. ProPublica narrates the difficulties of ridding Liberia of corruption in a story involving Chevron. My man, you know all these things. The president administration, you know all these things that went on Ellen Johnson's leave, but the letter will want to go. You cannot blame SADO. He said, why this Russia? People are angry because you fail to take action and the corruption continues under your watch. All right. You're talking about fraudulent. He said, passed fraudulently. When American company were, you know all these things when you came to power, you didn't take any action. Now the United States Congress is contemplating imposing selective sanctions on Liberian officials for corruption. Why now? Because the people are stealing. Okay, why. That is why they are doing it now. What is the motivation? Why was not sanction an option during the 12 years of the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf administration? With clear and irrefutable evidence of corruption, nepotism, and human rights violations. Sir, Ellen Dilly, they didn't come after her. You should have gone after her. You are the authority in power now. And so when you think your predecessor did things wrong, hold that person accountable. Because when you leave right now, guess what? When you have good leader right now, they will come after George Weah. They will come after all the government, but no accountability, no transparency. So people don't hold each other accountable. So Ellen Johnson Sirleaf went with free ride because you did not go after her, but you, the government in power too, you did not go after her. So she went with impunity. All right, so you can't just blame the outside world. Indeed, the man said the motivation is patently political, instigated by the disheveled, unprepared, unconnected opposition political. Okay, now I'm putting on opposition now. The opposition to America to blame. But man, your own blunder or blunders, you are not leading accordingly. You brought a pro-poor government. And the government right now is aristocratic. That they beat people there enjoying the money in the country. It's not for the poor people. Indeed, the motivation is patently political. Instead of political, that what America is doing, what she is doing right now. Instigated by the disheveled, unprepared, and unconnected opposition political parties. Supporters with deep pockets who are entreating Congress by utilizing powerful lobbyists. My man. The opposition did not ask your president to get private jet in a poor country. The opposition did not ask your president to build personal houses in a poor country in no time. When government officials are building, when Nathaniel built mansion for a deceased mother, and people are hungry, no medication in hospital. When you go to JFK, it's a disaster. I went to the Cali hospital the other time, mosquito all in the hospital. But the guy is saying, oh, that politician, the opposition, they're paying, lobbyists, and that's why they're doing all these things. My man, they're just playing games you play. You are not taking responsibility for your blunders. The motivation is plain or patently political, instigated by the disheveled, unprepared, and unconnected opposition political parties. Supporters with deep pockets who are entreating Congress by utilizing powerful lobbyists. They are attempting to tip the scales of the election in favor of the political elites in 2023. This is their playbook over the last 42 years. Since the ancient regime was overthrown in 1980, efforts by the political elites to retain power have been assisted by their allies in the United States. The war and consequences thereof were promulgated by these elites. using child soldiers, exploiting ethnic divisions, and effectively ruined a once promising country. Look at it, man, employment people for ethnic. Right now in your country, the tribal division going on right now. I will start, this is the voice of Sinoe. My own senator, Milton Tiaji, in preaching tribal, listen right now. Certain people should not get a job because they are not from certain tribal group. Is it because of America? Is it people exploiting that? I mean, you study weak arguments. Take responsibility for your blunders. Take responsibility and start blaming other people. And right here in your constitution, your constitution right here, let me read. It says that article is clear. Chapter 2, so article 5 of the Liberian Constitution. All these things they are in here. It says here, article 5C. They say the government should take steps by appropriate legislation and executive orders to eliminate sectionalism and tribalism and such abuses of power as the misuse of government resources, nepotism, and all other corrupt practices. All the things in your constitution, you're not doing anything about it, but you're blaming other outside countries or other people. You put this thing right. The Liberian Constitution is here. Constitution of Liberia. Then they blame other people for the blunder of the government. Yeah, they blame other people for it. So they want to say, let me end this article, right? Where did I stop? Since the ancient regime was overthrown in 1980, efforts by the political elites to retain power have been resisted by the allies in the United States. The war and consequences thereof were promulgated by these elites, using child soldiers, exploiting ethnic divisions, and effectively ruined the child soldier and Prince Johnson and Canada, the America they were fighting for, and effectively ruined a once promising country. Thus, the question that must be asked is simple. What would George Washington say about the relations between Liberia and the United States that produced one of the world's poorest countries? With nearly $15 billion in donor support over the post-war period, this is the Liberia we have. And the country government, or the current government, is fixing the mess created by the neglect, exploitation, collusion with the political elite. The ambassador should do well to read the history of Liberia to understand how this country became what it is today. Going further, despite the fallacies, okay, so over here the man said the 15 billion, they didn't go after Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, but they blaming the ambassador. All right. The man said they are doing everything to fix the max right now, the building personal houses, people that were broke right now, the building mansions all over the place, but how they can fix the mess. Nobody has been here accountable for corruption, but they are facing the mess in the country. My own senator, the man was declared guilty, the man stay in law, in Senate, in Liberia, but they facing mess, that he can face mess. Yes. The rape is prevalent in the country, but the man said they're facing mess in the country. I don't think they all listen to. The ambassador should do well. Crimes all over the place right now. He's working in Monrovia, he's scared. The people don't grab your pocketbook. Women are not, they're afraid. But the man said they're facing a mess in the country. The prices skyrocketing in the country. But he said they're facing a mess. All right, the ambassador should do well to read history. So is it going forward? Despite the fallacies in the ambassador's op-ed, the government of Liberia is urged to redouble its efforts to minimize corruption. Okay, my man, you say you're facing a man, you say redouble. You say redouble. Why are you redoubling your effort now when you're facing the mess? Okay, you're facing a man to redouble the effort. Okay, redouble its effort to minimize corruption and maintain steadfast and remain steadfast in its drive to improve the lot of the Liberian people. All right, so that what? The men are reported to the ambassador that he taped that counter argument. So you decide now. The men were just making a bunch of excuses for the mess in the country that they created. All right. We don't take responsibility for our mess, but we blame other people. All right. We blame other people. Did America participate in other things in Liberia? Yes, you did. But when it comes to governance of your country, America has been very helpful to Liberia. She did some other things, right? We can't dispute that. But when they give the money to, then they give the money to the leaders. The people consume the money. And right now, their healthcare facility is empty. So, guys, that's what we have for you for the night. My man, Edwin Poor. I got my man, Edwin Poor, will be the guest this coming Sunday at 5 p.m. The man wrote a book. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of my brother. And that's what we need. We need people to Edwin Poor. Okay? Now, the man book here, the mission. We want to be going into the mission. Okay? You see, what sort of mission is it? Is that a scientific mission? Is that a geological mission? Is that what? Is that a political mission? Is that a cultural mission? Is that a traditional? We want to know what sort of mission the guy is carrying on. So we'll be here. I will enter my man brain, you know. The book, I wish I have read the book first. Yes, but you know, the company is very good. It's a sharp young man. You will be at Edwin Poor over there, the mission. Join me this Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. All right, which will be at 4 p.m. Central his time. So we can have a conversation about this book, the mission. All right, the man taking you on a mission, right? Yeah, the mission we're going. Yeah, it will be great. Is that an aquatic mission? We're going on the water. We want to be diving on the water. Oh, we're going on the ground. What kind of mission I got to take you? I want to know that mission. I want to see my brother. I love the man myself. Guess what? The people see opposition to be enemy. They got come Paul myself were in school together. When I were in student politics, we're in separate student political parties, but we still good friends. But people, when they're opposition, they're enemies, they don't talk to each other, they're fighting every day. No, mature people don't do those things, you know. So I'm glad for my brother. I put in my articles there together too. Maybe I'll send it to him so he can take a look. Yeah, that's how we're going to do that. That's what we call positive competition. You know, when a person or your friend does his, you do yours. You don't envy the person, oh, that person, hey, we don't get that person position. But if you don't make the effort, the man is making the effort, that gives the man that laudation he needs. So I'm proud of my brother. Keep on a good job. And we'll be here Sunday to have a conversation with the brother, to go into the book. I will order my copy pretty soon. It's on Amazon right now. You can go there, the mission, Edwin Poor, you'll see it will pop up right there and get a copy and see what the mission the boy is taking on so we can know it. I want to know that. Let me read the cover here quick and see what is in here, just the back. What they come report at the back here. So let me see. So at the back of this, let me read this thing. What you got here? So the mission here, it's a matter tries to enlighten the villagers about her religion and collides with the opposite word. Damn it. All right. So yeah, then the mission, Samantha embarks on a journey of her life. She travels to a small village in West Africa known for its rituals and human sacrifices to educate the villagers about cleanliness while imparting her religion as enlightenment. She must first go through the chief's elders that will do everything to prevent her from changing their belief system. Okay, this is very interesting. I want to do that. I want to see, yeah. Now, what do people do? What they do, as you say, they change our people religion over them. And even my man Paul, then that Christian, the people took that thing from there. They carry the proselytize our people. They recruited them into their very religion. Yeah, our own thing. They say, oh, it's barbaric. It's uncivilized. I'm like, you serious? You know, somebody can take your whole religion away. They take your way of doing things. Oh, you are idol worshippers. You are polytheists. You know, our people, they are not polytheists. They are not idol worshippers. If you don't understand the African way of doing things, you will misinterpret. And now what they ran the propaganda. And our own people will say, oh, the African, they are polytheists. They worship the trees. They worship the rocks. They worship the rivers. That is a misunderstanding of the African form of worship. The African people say, God is in everything. So it's a form of pantheism. God is in everything. So when they are communicating with the Ra, they are not communicating to that Ra, but they say God is ubiquitous in everything. So because, let's just say people are prevalent, they are all over the place, they're widespread all over the place, right? So God cannot be in one object. The people don't lay one location, so he is everywhere. So in order for the people to have access to him, when you decide you go talk to the right, go talk to the, it's the same agent you are talking to. The agent is in everything. How do people, there are people understanding of God, but people send a message that, oh, the people worship idols, they worship this one. That's a miss. So I think Alvin Paul, I like the for the father, he said, they were trying to do something, and he said, she must first go through the elders or the chief's elders that will do everything to prevent her from changing their belief system. Okay. Now, if that belief system is harmful, then of course it requires changing. But when it's something that is benign, that has no negative impact, but then of course I would say, we should retain that. But change is necessary at times when things, because I want to have a problem with the word tradition. So now I change it, I call it trap. So now I call it tradition instead of tradition, right? I call it trap. Because tradition, you trap in it, right? The people say that how the things have been since our forefathers and mothers were here, and things should remain the same. I call it trap. She won't say tradition, right? But it's a trap. Change that D to P. Tradition. So you trap inside. And so there are certain traditional practices of African people that I support. For example, I love our beautiful attires, the nice African clothes. I love that. But I don't like the traditional practice, whether it be females, genital mutilation, and those things. They are terrible traditional practice. I don't like that. It has to be abolished. So certain traditional practices, they got to be changed. Yeah, they got to be changed. Because they're affecting other people. But I want to talk to my brother, my friend, a dear friend and brother. We'll have a good conversation in the coming soon. I'm going to see some of the comments that are trending here, and I will call you a night. My father, I must respectfully disagree with you. Whenever you say you are coming with change, you have to think forward and try to correct the past. All right, good statement over there. All Liberia old age problems, we are putting on CDC government. What other president did not do their past? But Mr. Panto, the thing is, right now the CDC government is in charge. So all these problems, they were palpable. They were all over the place. We could see it. We could feel it. George Weah saw it. His team, they say, you know what? They looked at those things and they came in it. They say, you know what? We're going to make a change. And so once the people gave you the authority, you just don't blame the other people in the past. You saw it. It's like Joe Biden now is in power. There are other things that Trump did, but he is in charge right now, and the onus is upon him to change things. So blaming Trump when I'm solve the problem. You now are the leader. You have to put in plans, strategies to change the situation. So you can say, because it happens, and nothing woo-woo, and so we can blame George Weah is the one in charge right now. So the man inherited the positive and the negatives. Okay, so we'll put everything on him. I see that what Madam Kalejebele was replying to. My father, I must respectfully disagree with you. Whenever you say you are coming with change, you have to think forward and try. Because when you are in opposition in the first place, you must have your game plan. So like people will never say the cliche, you are a government in waiting. And so you must have everything out when you get there. Day one, you start operation. You don't come there and start doing guesswork. Oh, Ellen Johnson said he did not do the one. Joseph Jennings did not do the one. And so you are in charge right now. The blame goes on you. All right. So that's it. I read it. Man, come in, start circumventing my question. Many people want to know why you acted outside the Constitution you once claimed. I don't know why you call acting outside the Constitution. Nobody went outside the scope of the Constitution here. There are certain things they call extra constitutional activities. It doesn't mean I should go against there is no such thing as press secretary. My man Richard Carter was the press secretary to Grand Juvio before. nothing in the Constitution like that, But those things, they are just, we're doing those things. The only issue we have in the case of our man Gideon, he did not submit those names to the board of directors. You just put the people there and say, oh, they want you are confirmed. I don't want to appoint you, I are confirming you. And now I will have some of those issues, but how he submitted the names to the board of directors, it will be a proper way to go. Let me call, okay, Mr. Monjue. Let me take your call, sorry. Mr. Monjue.
Yeah, that Mr. Monjue.
Yeah, welcome aboard. Sorry, I almost forgot.
I know you forgot. I mean, it was a good topic tonight, but I don't know, this guy, Jacob Binda, that tried to compare himself with the U.S. ambassador. I don't understand what he's trying to say. The American government support Liberia, John is support the other people. But the other people, they make use of that money. Right. And when the American men, when they support you and they see what you are doing, continue giving you more money. They're not giving Liberia money. Yeah. But when they give our own money, we're taking a pocket there instead of doing development. And that's what I don't understand. Right. And he continues to have a comparison with Ghana, with this. People are doing well because when they get on their money, they use the money wisely.
That's right. That's
they
right.
They can go look for a girlfriend or boyfriend. That's not happening. Look how he's talking about why the program brings somebody to clean their what? The dirt. You can't clean your own dirt?
No, you clean your own dirt.
What kind of man is that? And the other day, what the man is, the so-called mayor, when I don't know whether he had a real degree or what he had, a whole week of vacation, someone celebrating the man's graduation. And so all those things. So do the real thing, you don't want to do it. So when the people know that you're not using the money wisely, they will kind of reduce your extension. But even without that, America has been supporting Liberia for years. Look at the amount of money they get every year. Did you say 100?
Yeah, they get 110 million, and then to the health sector they give 79 million every year.
Right.
Even though the message to the health sector they give 54 million. Right. Even that 5 million said a lot of money, they give 54 million.
Absolutely. People get extra 9 million. Right. To be able to get some reciprocal, to get medicine, and you take the money, you take it, and you take it and use it for your personal gain. Look at that. People go to the hospital, they don't know medication there. Then you take you the doctor, you take the medication and then you get to your drugstore, then you go and resell to the people. I have to say you bought them.
Right.
You know what they're doing? And the person, and that's what an ambassador saying. He's right.
He's very, very right. The man is on point. We need more ambassadors, international. I mean, the same people who were complaining, they were lying. They say, oh, I think when Costa first brought it, the lawmaker from New Jersey, Chris Smith. Yeah. When he said whatever he said about Liberia corruption, the people were attacking that man all over the internet. Yeah, we don't let people say the truth to us.
ESOTERIC, look, all the Google things the Americans doing for Liberia. They put voting machine. You put a voting machine aside, you don't want to use it, or you want to use. No, everything just backward.
Everything backward. They don't want to improve anything because they don't want to be recorded. That's the problem. Yeah, once the people know, they will say, "Oh, that man voted this way," so they want to remain in power. Election time, nobody knows the history.
I know.
Yeah.
And when they travel here, when they go on TV, go on there, they see what they're doing. Why we can't do the same thing? Why we can't follow the people or model? Why can't we do that? What's the other guy need? If the guy don't want to come on your show and say something good, he need to stop coming on your show. This referee.
That man gave a view. That lead Mr. Evangelist James Carla. People are suffering in Kano County. You're talking about politics in South politics.
I know. That's not called for. We're talking about the lives of people in our country, in our city, in our county. I mean, what more does he want you to say?
Yeah, when I go after that man, I say, "Oh, the man coming back again." My lead the man, they don't want to bring the man.
That's right. Absolutely.
But I have gotten, I mean, the people say, oh, I should leave. The people say, right now I'm here to talk about Sinoe County. I bring guests on here. We'll talk about things. We'll talk about organization, how we'll help our people. We don't want to go after people.
No.
The people defected. And then, go ahead.
We passed that stage. We're not going back to that. We passed that stage.
Right.
And I just want to say congratulations to all the appointees tonight. We are glad that they are coming on board, and that kind of praying that we want them to come on board. Mr. Reverend Garty, Mr. Massaquoi, somebody else again. There were three guys.
There are two people so far.
Well, 2 persons. Yeah, we welcome them on board, and that's good. Bring all the old folks, who know better. As like the Reverend Garty. Reverend Garty is a genius. So, I mean, a lot of people listen to him. So we are glad that you'll be one of the advisors to the president, and that's a good thing for the union. Well, thank you so much for the show. I really enjoy. I've been listening to you the whole while.
Thank you. I really appreciate you.
Okay, Papa. And remember, I will continue to support this forum. I will continue. Whatever listing I get, I will always try to send it in to be able to pay that bill. Okay?
All right. Thank you. So, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and good night.
All right. Good night. All right. So this is Sinoe County incoming lawmaker here, Honorable Zarzar, the senator. That is incoming senator for Sinoe. We'll replace that man. We're talking about corruption, power, Garty. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, let me see the people that are following right now before I let you go. Auntie May, welcome aboard. Thank you for following. My man, Edwin, thanks for following the show. I really appreciate your presence. My man, Jake Kalewi Tote, how you doing, Chief? Thanks for following. Miss Winning Shigbe Massaquoi, thanks for following. Former president of our union, former board member, Madam Jebele Foley, incoming representative district number 3. Maybe we'll vest to them. Say, they're calling it over. Right now, pro with you. They benefited. That food was so bad. They depleted our country. We won't try the women into, even though Ellen Johnson said, she made it. The former, like I said, man, Jebele, probability of winning. She didn't make it easy. She just corrupted the whole place, So maybe Manachebwe will contradict Ellen Johnson said you never know, So they are two different individuals. All right, so Mr. Blood Tower Chamwe, how you doing, Chi? Welcome aboard. Thanks for following. Abel Morris, thanks for following the show. Let's see. Queen Orwell, thanks for following the show. Mr. James Panto. I'm sorry. We got Monjue Smith. Thanks for following the show. Our city mayoress of Beautiful Creek City, Madam Mary Double. Thanks for following the show. The contrarian, Mr. Reverend Evangelist James Shigbe Carlo. Thanks for following. Voice of Sinoe. Reverend Tusua. Thanks for following. My man Jackson Wulu Williams. Thanks for following the show. We got here who I'm seeing. Gregory Goa, thanks for following the show. Appreciate you. VP, National Vice President of USA. Honorable William Marlin, thanks for joining. I want to appreciate my great contributor from Texas, the Texas Ranger, the richest man in the state of Texas, the businessman that got a whole oil factory over there. Maya Modible, thanks for joining, thanks for your contribution. President Otelo Colo, thanks for following Voice of Sinoe. Where's my list is constricted here. Let me see. Let's see who I didn't call here. Yeah, for the most part, I think these are the people I'm seeing. Yeah, so if I don't call your name, I want to say thank you as well for following Voice of Sinoe. And we'll always appreciate you being with us. That being said, you know how I do it when I'm living, right? As I blend it, we got to change the way we do things, right?
I I said I get it.
Guys, thank you for following Versatile. Really appreciate you. And we are out for this night. Thank you so much, Reverend Kamal. Thank you for joining me late. We are out. You missed the show. I think you'll watch the replay, but thank you for joining me. Appreciate you as well. All right, this is how we're doing it for the night.